Welcome back to the Popcast, and we got a great show for you tonight. We got two special guests. My old friends, Brian Runkle and Jim Lamb. They've both been guests here before, so you're familiar with them. And we got a great show for you today, coming straight from the underground nerd basement, deep under Sandusky, Ohio, in an undisclosed location. How you doing, guys?
Good. Great. Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah,
happy holidays.
I've been looking forward to this episode. It's been in the back of my mind for a long time. It's the Star Wars annual special Palooza Prequels edition.
We need like the fanfare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll add that in post.
Yeah, we'll add that in post.
We're talking about the prequels and not the holiday special, right?
This is its own holiday special.
That's right.
And you know, I'm sure you guys, did you watch that? You watched that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Holiday
that was an
special?
event.
Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable.
When we were-
I still remember. It's what introduced Boba Fett.
Yeah,
The
that little cartoon. And it's a
cartoon.
Ralph. It was a Ralph. I didn't realize Ralph Bashki. Do you know who that
Bakshi?
is? Bakshi.
Oh, yeah, like-
Bakshi. Wizards. Remember that show
Oh,
with
yeah.
that red wizard that we always used to?
He did a Lord of the Rings cartoon too.
Yeah, and that was cool too because they did that motion capture somehow. There's in that cartoon. See, we're already off. We're off already. But in that cartoon, one of the characters trips over their sword, and they just animated it right in. Like in animation, you could totally not have him trip over his sword, but he tripped over his sword. It was a blooper, and they just left it in.
Left it there.
Left it in, yeah. So let's we got this could be a long episode. So
We
grab
could
your
chop it up.
popcorn
Chop
and
it
your
up into fun
snacks.
sized bits.
Maybe it's New Year's Eve. It'd be a good time to watch this. You got time to kill till the ball drops. So, but it's we'll start with the comics. What do we got today? We didn't have you guys bring comics. I didn't know we were gonna do comics.
These are very curated
Curated.
to the current events. So we have Avengers 156. The Avengers, of course, fighting Doctor Doom up there. So yeah, there's been leaks for Avengers Doomsday. Most notably, a Captain America Steve Rogers will return leak. If anybody has anything to say about that, how do you guys?
Steve Rogers will return.
Yeah.
Not Captain America will return.
Yeah. Of course. Let's not get political. Anyway, I've been hearing a lot of people they don't like that.
Wait, you saying Steve Rogers will return? Captain America won't return?
Captain America is Sam Wilson now. So I on the trailer it says specifically Steve Rogers will return. It doesn't say Captain America will return. So what are they going to do?
You can't have two Captain. Come on, that's the stuff of comics legends.
But people aren't liking it. People aren't liking it. They don't like that he's coming back.
Well, you know, we're in a comic universe, and the only thing that could have come from them 5 or 6 or however many junk movies they had with the metaverse, or what was it? The multiverse. Horrible job on that, considering where you just came from. They were just standalone movies that just kept expanding the multiverse for no reason and made it easier to go to the multiverse. Anyway, the only reason those movies could possibly have any redeeming value would be that Steve Rogers comes back from an alternate universe.
Or anyone. You know, and the whole point was
it
to
opens
bring
the door
anyone.
for anyone, like you were saying.
And people have been eating it up, you know, until right now. The Deadpool and Wolverine, that was just, let's bring as many people that have ever been in a Marvel movie. That's what Doomsday's going to be doing as well is, remember all those X-Men movies from the early 2000s? We're bringing them all back.
This all leading to Secret Wars.
Yeah. But now we have a problem because Steve Rogers is coming back.
Yeah, why
Even though
bother
we have
people?
RDJ as Doctor Doom. I don't know. And the rumor is that it's going to be...
Because it was a huge success with the 3 Spider-Man. You guys both saw that.
Oh, yeah.
That was
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the best Marvel movie in that era.
But the people online are saying the rumor is it's going to be Steve Rogers, Captain America versus RDJ's Doctor Doom. He's going to be like the center focal point of the story. Which it seems just kind of... I don't know, but you did RDJ as Doctor Doom for what other reason than that? Obviously, Doctor Doom has always been a Fantastic Four first villain.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there a release date for that movie?
A year from now.
Next Thanksgiving-ish or Christmas at December?
Christmas-ish. I think it's that and Dune 3 release on the same day right now. As of now, they're releasing on the same day.
Oh, Dune
Dune
3.
moved. I saw.
Oh, they
I'm
did?
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Dune moved.
They
They don't
chickened
want
that
to
out.
compete with that.
I'm 99% sure I saw that they moved their release date for Dune 3.
There you go.
The other thing I read about having Robert Downey Jr. as Doom was to bring the Peter Parker element into it because Iron Man was his mentor, and now he's.
So is he going to be? Is he going to be Tony Stark as Doctor Doom, or are we just randomly? You know what I mean?
Have to see.
Have to see.
Are they going to know? Geez, that guy looks just like Tony Stark.
I mean, you would have to, wouldn't you?
Someone would have to point it out throughout the course. At least somebody would kind of hint at it.
Or are we just supposed
He
to
looks
pretend that
familiar.
Robert Downey Jr. is just a new character now in this thing? He's not.
See, that's what I'm saying, though. You bring him back for what? For him as Doom, for what other reason than doing what they're doing? I don't know. People
he's
love
just
that
an
decision. They're
alternate
like, "Oh,
universe.
this is
Tony
so
Stark
cool."
went evil and turned into Doctor Doom.
Yeah, so he's not even a
It's not
Doctor
even
Doom
Dr. Doom.
Fantastic Four villain.
It's a different. It's a whole
The one
different
thing I
guy.
haven't read anything about is if they're bringing Steve Rogers back and his other characters. I mean, you would think sooner or later they'd have to bring an Iron Man variant into this.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise, the classic
Oh, that'd be
speculated
sweet.
Tom Cruise Iron Man variant. But yeah, I just don't. I don't know what the plan could be. For
I
that.
read today though that they're heading towards like Secret Wars. By the end of that, it's just going to lead to like a total reboot,
Reset.
like the Marvel universe.
Which is what they need. I think the main reason they're doing Steve Rogers though is because they don't have anyone to lead any sort of team as of right now in an Avengers movie. Everybody's so like scattered. There's no real leader. Like, and the original was okay, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. You know those guys were going to be the leads of those movies, and now you don't have anyone. Like,
Yeah, there's nobody.
Your
nobody
crutch
emerged to
is
carry.
Thunderbolts. You know what I'm saying? Which is again the losers of the universe. And those were that's your best
That's your
one.
best movie.
Fantastic Four didn't land well. You know, people were just kind of like, yeah,
Which I liked.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many.
But yeah, for some reason, I
It
keep
didn't, like,
reading
get
more
traction.
people are ripping on it.
Here's
More
what, to
recent.
me, they fumbled this whole phase. There's just so many loose ends. Like, what's Shang-Chi been doing? Like, where's...
Yeah, it's just-
Where is Captain Marvel? Like, where is, you know... We know Banner, we saw him in the She-Hulk, but Hulk has to be around somewhere. You know, like, where, like, are these guys... Like, Thor... somewhere.
You're 100% right, and I think it shows they didn't really have a plan. Shang-Chi's not hanging around, or is not anymore, because the movie didn't do as well as they hoped. So we're just going to write him out. Rather than we had a plan and we're going to commit, Shang-Chi is in the plan, and he's going to be in another movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
You know what I
because
mean?
before like Infinity War, you had like 3 Captain America movies. You had like 3 Iron Man movies. You had, you know,
Multiple Thor.
They just weren't
3,
patient
4,
enough
yeah, more
to get
Thor
to their
movies.
next part.
Yeah.
But how could you be? I mean,
I'm
it's
saying
not
you wanted
their
it to
fault.
last. I think you
There's
just had
no
to be
way.
patient.
The problem is, there's no way you're going to reproduce a 20 movie.
Saga. Yeah, I mean, I
It's
agree.
not, and everybody keeps thinking they're gonna, but then they chicken out. Oh, Shang-Chi only made $20 million. We were hoping it would make 70.
See, but you got to build them. You got to build the brand. Like I like the
Right.
first Shang-Chi movie. Like I would have watched the second Shang-Chi movie to see like where he went.
I
You
wasn't too
wouldn't?
crazy about it. I mean, I would have went. I've seen all the Marvel movies, but do you remember Master of Kung Fu, that comic book?
Oh yeah.
I had that whole run. That was sweet. He was like a secret agent. And there was more of those type of missions. He was like a James Bond with karate because it was the 70s and karate was a thing, you know. It was cool. Had some cool issues. That's what I was hoping it would be more like.
I mean, they could have done that with the second after they fleshed his character out and given him something to do. Like, is he like on some kind of mission for the Avengers or? Because remember at the end of Shang-Chi, wasn't it Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner and somebody else at Avengers headquarters? They were like looking at those rings and they're like, oh, it's putting a signal out into the like a radio wave into the universe. Like, what's it doing? And then you never find anything out.
It's like Prince of Darkness. That transmission. Never got to know what happened to it.
I think a lot of the problem was Kang was supposed to be the original
Yeah, that
villain,
was fumbled.
and then he fell into
That guy did
the guy
whatever
got
he
into
did.
some trouble, so they're like, oh, we don't know what to do.
But see,
I think
it was a
Black
lack
Panther-
of commitment to the. They
Well, I
were not
can't commit
100%
to that.
sold on the story.
He should have
Just get rid of that guy. And
He should have
put somebody
beat
else in there.
in Ant-Man and Quantumania, which was terrible. But it could have been sweet, like if you would have had Kang like win that movie and like beat the crap out of Ant-Man, and then Ant-Man's like, oh my gosh, like what's coming? Like what are we gonna be able to do?
We're gonna need
And you
help.
see that Kang like busting into Earth 616 or something like that. But I mean, Ant-Man beat him.
So, yeah, right.
So what are you gonna do now? Like he's not that threatening anymore.
Yeah, if Ant-Man's
You mentioned Prince of Darkness with the transmission. Are you guys okay with the movie ending where you don't have a definitive answer or definitively know how it ends? Or it leaves you just
like
up to your
Inception.
imagination?
like Inception.
Sure. The end of The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Kurt Russell they're sitting there talking. Is
Yeah,
one of
you
them
have
The
to
Thing?
nail it though. You have to
Yeah.
nail that
Okay,
type
but-
of ending.
But I think also the part is
Everybody wants an ending. Oh, well, which one's the... Sometimes
With
that's just
all
like,
of
oh,
those
it's cool.
movies-
Leave it up in the air.
with all those movies though, they left the ending. That was the ending. They weren't like, oh, watch this. We're going to put some cockamamie ending so that we can have a sequel.
That's it.
Which is what all these movies try to do. They try to have that kind of ending to set up a sequel, and it's like it's not as
Especially
good
the-
because you know all they're doing is trying to set up a
Especially you talking
sequel.
about like even the little scenes after the credits.
Yeah.
They'll throw that little scene in there to give you a little snippet of, oh, what's going to happen?
I think that's expected from Marvel now.
And it
I'm-
was
I'm
sweet
talking
at
about-
first. It, like,
Yeah.
I remember at the end of, I think Incredible Hulk, or was it?
It would be Hulk when Iron Man showed up at the bar.
Yeah, Stark shows up
Yeah.
talking, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you like realize what's going on. I remember those first couple stingers, you know, and you're like, oh my gosh, like these are like
The one
tying
I
everything
really
together.
remember was the Thor's hammer.
Yes,
I don't know what, because that was one of the very first ones, and you're like, oh, there's going to be a Thor movie? Oh,
that might have
sweet.
been at the end of like first event, the
Yeah,
first Cap
something.
movie, maybe.
Was that where the hammer was in the ground?
Yeah. In the desert or something.
Agent Coulson was out there in the desert.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You thought,
or was it the end of the first Iron Man? What was
It had
that?
to
would have been
early
Iron
Iron
Man
Man.
2.
Oh, the Iron Man
Yeah.
stinger was
Iron
Nick
Man
Fury
2.
showing up.
Yeah, Iron Man was Nick Fury, Hulk was Tony Stark, and then they had Iron Man 2, which was Thor's hammer.
Oh, okay.
And then I think also in Iron Man 2, when he's building that the new arc reactor, he shoots it off of a prototype of Captain America's shield,
Yeah.
which was like a hint towards, I don't know what Thor's was.
See, but
'Cause I
those
can't
had like
imagine it.
purpose. It's not just like, oh, let's throw this 10 rings thing in there and then it never goes anywhere, you know.
right, because I just think they, like I said, they weren't really sold on the story, and it seems like the crowd wasn't really buying it, so let's just try something else.
Yeah.
I think Thor's was they find Captain America on the ice. They have like a guy like
Yeah.
shove the ice
Oh,
across
yeah.
and it's the shield.
Speaking of, do you remember, I was going to ask you guys one of your favorite Star Wars memories, or if you have a Star Wars memory, do you remember at the theater, Star Wars was at the mall, and one of them, wherever that was, you know, at the end of those hallways, you remember they had the caveman at that time? Star Wars was playing, and out in the hall, had that caveman in the ice. Do you remember that?
Oh, you know what? Laying down, like in the
Yes.
standing up,
Yes,
laying
yes,
down.
yes.
I do.
It was like a display, right?
It was like
the tour. They thought they found that caveman, and they were
and
touring
ice, and it was a
around.
block of ice. I do remember that.
That's one of my. It's unrelated to Star Wars, but it is.
Let's just
because
find a
I
costume
went to
of
see
a
Star
hairy dude
Wars.
and put it in a block of ice.
Here they had
Take
this
it to every
caveman in
mall
a block
across
of ice.
America.
Yeah,
Good lord.
Whatever happened to that?
it's probably proven to be a complete hoax.
Yeah.
But they got everybody's $10.
Right?
Moved on to the
Holy
next place.
man, I do remember that.
So I don't know what was the theater called at that time down at the end of that hall. Do you remember?
I don't.
There were 3 screens
Just
and then
the
there was
wall
a movie
cinema,
behind
wasn't it?
Hills.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
Cinema
was
World.
I
That
worked
was
at
Cinema
Cinema
World.
World.
You worked
behind
at Cinema
Hills.
World?
Yeah, I did, man.
Remember when it was $1.50 movies then at the end? Before the final closed?
Yeah.
That was good. Those were good days. $1.50 movie.
Good days.
Good days.
State Theater used to show movies once. I saw this Die Hard at the State Theater.
I thought saw
think
Jedi.
I saw
remember
I saw
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Theater.
Yeah, because I remember there was some contractual thing, and like the mall theater couldn't get it.
Yeah, so
my dad
somehow the state-
drove us up to Avon to see it at some theater there, and then it finally came to Sandusky, like at the State Theater.
Yeah, it came late too.
Yeah, it came late.
The State Theater nabbed Return of the Jedi. That was a high point for the State Theater.
Yeah,
Was it at the State before the regular theaters?
Yeah,
I think it was only at the
yeah,
State
yeah.
It was only at State
and
Theater.
Sandusky.
They probably didn't know what the hell was going on. They were like, let's go get some more popcorn.
Yeah.
Somebody go to get some popcorn. So, all right, so we're not even on to the second comic book yet at this point.
Oh, Supergirl. Yes. Supergirl number 22. This is just, look at that hair, the headband. They need to bring the headband into the Supergirl movie. If not in
I'm
one, then in
surprised they
two.
haven't.
This is just a beaut.
It's a Butte
It's
Clark.
a beaut, Clark. Yeah. Look at that.
The new Supergirl movie is based on Woman of Tomorrow.
Correct.
Okay.
So speaking of the Supergirl, that's a new trailer that was out this week. What'd you guys think of that? That's why you picked this comic.
Yeah, I correlate
Entertaining.
them.
You and I had the same reaction. When I saw it, I was like, looks all right.
Yeah. I ain't saying it looks bad.
When I saw it-
jumping out of my seat to go run to the theaters, but
When I saw it,
looks
had
like
the
it'll be
hard
entertaining.
eyes, and then it was, what's that? Oh, we'll have to play the song. I'll tell you what song to play. But yeah, oh, I love her. I love her. I'm there. I'm seated.
All right.
I love her.
Yeah, she's cute. I thought it looked good.
Did you watch House
Especially
of the
for
Dragon?
DC.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course I watch House of the Dragon.
That's where she came about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where she made her big break.
The big break. And other trailers out this week. Steven Spielberg, Age of Disclosure. What did you
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure
Or
Day.
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. What did you think of that?
It's Spielberg. It's UFOs. John Williams came out of retirement to do the
No
score.
way, really?
He convinced John Williams to come out of retirement to do one more score.
That's awesome.
I mean, you got to be there for that.
What's the last movie Spielberg did?
The Fablemans?
Oh yeah. Did you see that?
I did not. It's,
Never did I.
it's about him. It's kind of like
kind of
loosely based on him.
autobiographical.
Yeah, autobiographical. Him growing up, but yeah, I'll be there for that.
Yeah.
Especially with all the conspiracy theories swirling around it.
Well,
on the
Jim,
internet.
let me just tell you something, Jim. They need to come up with a new term because conspiracy theory is no longer accurate. It's, I know what's going on long before you people are figuring it out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole different episode. I don't know if the material is suitable for the Popcast. Maybe I'll have to have
A disclosure.
a dark
just-
web podcast of some
With some
sort.
of the clickbait stuff going on out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Should we talk about some of this? You don't want to talk about any of the theories? Like
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Like the
I did not know them yet
so
about this
so I
particular
read
thing.
on the internet.
On the
it's gotta be
interweb.
true. Some of the conspiracy theories are that the clicking sound that you hear of the alien voice is an actual alien voice given by the government to Spielberg, and that this movie is supposed to kind of be the disclosure of non-human life from the government, but in a more palatable form as a popcorn movie, so that there's not like a big like panic or like a meltdown or anything like that. I mean,
Kind of ease you into it. It's called predictive programming. They've been doing it for a long time. But yeah, but at this point, if you are on the bubble, like, or even worse, if you think there are not, and I'm going to put aliens in quotation marks again, this is a whole long thing. They're not aliens, but there's beings out there. If you're on the side that thinks that's not real at this point, you're behind
You're
the
on the wrong
times.
side.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
You're a lost
beings
cause.
out there, or beings out there that have and are visiting Earth. Like I believe that there's life in the universe. There has to be life somewhere else, whether or not it's been to Earth. I was telling my buddy Ty Roth today, I read a good thing about like aliens coming to Earth and the infinitesimal chances. So it's kind of like, say you're at a
theory
beach.
for it.
Well, say
or
you're at a
whatever.
beach, and so you go to the beach, and I say, Chad, when you go to the beach, there's life on one grain of sand on the beach. Now go and find it. That would be like us finding other life in the universe, because there's more bodies in the universe than there are grains of sand on the beach. Our minds have difficulty comprehending that. So the chances of us coming across that life somewhere in the universe are infinitesimal, as a scientist.
All right, now I will argue what you say is correct. The chance of us finding other life, if there are other life forms in other galaxies that are far superior in intellect, then I'm not going to rule it out of the possibility for them to find us.
Especially seeing how quickly we've advanced in just the last like 50 years.
Right?
However, there's along those same lines, if you buy into how life evolved here, then it's a theory of, I can't remember the name of it because I'm not good at remember that, but the concept is there would be so much life in the universe we'd be tripping over it. Because there are all these planets, and if, let's say, there's one out of every 1,000 planets supports life, that's millions of planets that support life.
I know the theory you're talking about. I can't think of it right
We'd
now.
be tripping over it. So my contention is they're not aliens. In fact, there's probably more coming from the oceans and different things, because probably in Age of Disclosure they talk about a lot of the stuff in the oceans.
They
I didn't
talk
see
about
that
the-
documentary yet.
They
That's
talk
the
about
documentary, not
possibility of something being in the ocean.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
Depths.
85% of the ocean's like still unexplored or something?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Like I said, this is a whole different. This is a whole show. We could go on for quite some time. All right, so Age of Disclosure, I'm excited for that.
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day.
You're getting the two.
Age of
I'm getting
Disclosure.
the documentary
You can
on
find it
Amazon.
on Prime. Yeah, right. Amazon Prime.
Dave,
Disclosure.
yeah, Spielberg. It's going to be good. It's
But I mean,
gonna-
yeah, how many more chances are we going to get to see Spielberg and Williams and big summer blockbuster and
probably not.
I would recommend watching both. Watch the Age of Disclosure movie. Get a feel for the talk
The lore.
the lore and stuff. So when the movie comes out, even
got
though they're
something.
unrelated, I'm sure they're related to some
Right.
aspect.
Yes, for sure. And then finally, Stranger Things, season 5,
Volume 5.
next trailer.
Volume
What do you think
2.
of that?
Looks good. I'm excited to watch it. I thought the volume 1, the last 4 episodes that just come out, cool.
What would you give that? What would you give the first 4 on a scale of 1 to 10?
just the first 4.
Yeah.
I'd give them a solid 8.
I'd probably go 7 or 8.
Obviously,
Each their own.
if you've seen
Oh,
our,
you didn't like it.
if you've seen our podcast,
I did not see
on
their
it,
Stranger Things podcast.
we had some issues with it.
Yeah.
But I'll say this.
You know what? I saw your little preview complaining about her eating beef jerky or something like
You know,
that.
come on. But I'll say this: that trailer looks like, to me, they had to do all this boring setup to get to where they're going to be, because the trailer looks good.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I'm basing my ranking on. It's like it's an 8 episodes. I mean, this is like, you have to have the exposition to get to the rising action and the climax and the falling action and the resolution. So there was maybe a little too much exposition.
Counter argument. This is the finale. I don't need more. You can't be expositioning in your finale where you're supposed to be going to the end. You know what I'm saying? That's like,
I understand what you're saying, but it's like, for this season, you have to kind of. And remember, it's been 5 years since season 4 came out. It's kind of like
that's a flaw on production.
Yeah, but in the inter between 4 and 5, like, what has everybody been up to? One thing I didn't understand is, like, I had talked to you about this before. It's like, so you have this like massive like event in your town, and then all of a sudden everybody just goes back to school. As if
Exactly.
there's like,
I just can't even. You're right. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we didn't go back to school after COVID, for God's sake.
Yeah.
We acted like there was a flu bug going around. Nobody went to school then.
You have 500 days. I feel like people would be like, I don't know. Even Stephen King does this a lot in his books, where the ending is cataclysmic, but you feel that everything shifts with it. Carrie, for instance, she has this telekinetic power. She completely blows up this town. And throughout that book, they're cutting to, there's the court scenes where they're like, we got to figure out what happened here. There's later studies, like clippings from studies about that specific
incident.
event, and them trying to discover how the TK gene is what they call it, can be spread, and who still has it. So they're going into the future, or Stephen King is taking us into the future from the Carrie story and showing how, this event happened in this town and it changed the wider aspect of the world. And how you're saying Stranger Things, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's just, a town essentially had a volcanic interdimensional earthquake, and no one really seems to be like, this is a big deal. Like, even the townspeople aren't like,
Yeah, I think maybe they wouldn't. They'd be
what's
like,
going on?
I'm not sending my kid to school this way. My
could
kid ain't gonna grow up to
leaving.
get a job.
we're leaving.
I could see the outside world not Like,
Yeah, I can
they're
see
clamping
that.
but the
it down.
people in their own town, it's like
Would be like, no, we're not.
it's like
we're not buying what you're
Mike
selling.
and Nancy Wheeler, like the Wheeler dad is still just like going out in the backyard hitting golf balls. He's like, she's like, you don't even know how old your own daughter is. He's like, and then the mom's still like drinking wine. This is like,
Yeah, I just find,
This is
I
like
do
life
find that a
continued
little
as normal.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I find it
can see
unbelievable that the kids didn't spill the beans either to anyone. I mean, at that point, I get after season 1
Did
when
they
they're like
address it
little
though?
kids.
Didn't they? Did
No,
they say
they
like who would
haven't
we
said.
tell? I thought like
Yeah, they're
they
like,
were
who? Oh, shouldn't we have told your parents?
And they're like,
After the world splits apart, I think you're okay to tell your
You're
parents.
like, hey guys, we got some information on this.
By the way, for
situation.
the past 10 years of our lives.
And Murray, like another question I had, the Murray dude that comes in with the supplies, isn't he like going to the outside world? Like, wouldn't he go to the outside world? Isn't he the
It'd be
big
like,
just
yeah,
hey, this
you'd
is
be
what's going
spilling
on
it.
here.
Exactly.
You'd have like
Yeah, see,
planes
as you're
flying
starting
over.
to think about it and talk it through, you're starting to
Yeah.
see the flaws.
But I would like to take this moment to segue from Stranger Things.
Government cover up though.
Yeah, that's what for the outside world.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I'll take this moment to segue into Stranger Things, into Star Wars. As we just witnessed, he said, "Oh, I watched the trailer. It looks
Oh,
cool."
jeez.
I want to say last week, I think we talked about our Stranger Things. We talked about how he was buying into the hype of
Dude,
Star
I don't
Wars.
know where you're getting
Dude,
this.
you just admitted on camera. Okay? We
For
haven't-
Stranger Things, I left. This is from the sequels. I don't know where he's getting this.
the truth.
This
I
is
get
not
it
the
from
truth.
history.
I said I am not going. I am not going to part 3.
And then a trailer
when,
comes
when
out.
Princess Leia flies out into space. I'm
Rise
like,
of
that's it.
Skywalker.
I'm done.
You
This
never
is
saw
stupid.
Rise of Skywalker?
No, I
we
did
did,
because
'cause
he
he
goes.
know, 'cause
you
you
know
like the
you're
trailer.
going. Let's just go.
Okay,
I was like, fine,
yeah, I
I'll
probably
go.
said
But
that,
I did not want to go.
I know we were in your
So-
office.
you're
We were in
so-
your office watching the trailer, and you're like,
Why would I
that
wa-
looks pretty sweet."
No, I
as
did
you just
not.
did,
There
as
was
you just
nothing
did,
about
as
it.
you just did with Stranger Things. We have an hour and a half, if not 2-hour episode of us kind of dogging on Stranger Things. Not that we didn't enjoy it, but we were like, oh.
And I said-
he sees one trailer, he goes,
No.
"Oh, this looks sweet."
You're so.
It's the same
so
thing that happened
wrong.
with Star Wars.
You made me go
which
to that
brings
stupid
us to our
Star Wars.
Star Wars Palooza episode about
But I mean,
the
you might
sequels.
the next 3 episodes you might like.
That's
better
what I
than the
said.
first 4.
I told you. I think they might have had to go through all that garbage to get to what's going to be cool.
Are you?
I think there's a Thessal
oh.
Hydra as well as the rumor. A giant dragon, like that red ball that you see in the Volume 2 Stranger Things trailer, is going to become the Thessal Hydra, a dragon of sorts.
I thought that red ball thing was like the mind flayer because wasn't there that like smoke?
Yeah.
It's all about where they look
So
up.
does the mind
Yeah.
flayer controls Vecna, right? Remember at the end of season 2 when they were at that dance and then it kind of like panned back from the school and then you saw that big like spider thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's the mind flayer, and that controls Vecna. That's like
I
the big
believe
bad,
so,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So they got to take that out. They can't even
Yeah.
get through Vecna. They got to get through
Yeah.
Vecna to take that out.
Yeah.
It's going to be something where, because they talked about that cave and how Mr. Whatsit was like afraid of that cave. So there's going to be something where it's like Elle and then that lost sister 8 and then Will and like Henry, number 1, all team up to have to take out the mind flayer.
Yeah,
But
they're
the fact that
they're trying to make him a
There's
good
going to be
guy.
a redemption of like Henry.
Or he's like
hell,
split
I-
personalities
okay,
or
so they would need his power as well to take down the mind flayer.
Yeah.
The mind flayer's controlling.
There's a lot of time travel theories as well. That Vecna secretly will somehow. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We'll wait and see.
Too much talk.
Hey, did you guys talk about Mandalorian Grogu trailer?
We did in one episode
Did you?
briefly.
Okay.
My take on it was it looked like a TV show. It did not look cinematic.
It doesn't look very intriguing.
I
either.
thought it did.
There was supposed to be a new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer this week, and like with everything else happening, everybody's just like, I guess they like pulled it. Like there was too much
I mean,
stuff
you got
going on.
you got
'Cause, like, there was,
Supergirl
like-
and you got
There's like no interest in like Star Wars anymore.
Because you had Princess Leia fly out into space, and that's where I got off the bus.
Okay,
Space
so-
Harrier.
and he got right back on after that
Get
trailer.
back on that bus. I haven't watched any other Star Wars since you made me go.
You watch Mandalorian and Grogu?
I
No.
did not make
You never
go
watched
anywhere.
Mandalorian season 2 with like
No,
when Luke
man,
comes
I'm-
back?
Which brings us to the prequels and your retcon and stuff, which is what I don't like, which is where I think the prequels went wrong. They retconned too much.
What was retconned?
I guess that's not the right word.
So are we going to start the prequel?
Yeah, let's start the.
All right,
Let's
do you
get
want to talk about them one film at a time, or are we
Yeah.
talking about them as a whole?
Let's have some order.
Well, order would be good, but I want to say something. You referenced Leia going out in what would that be? Episode 8. Okay, so
We're getting there.
with talking about these prequels, within the last week, I've revisited all 3.
As in, you watch them?
I've watched all 3 within the last week.
He's doing his homework.
And let me
He's
tell you
serious.
something. It wasn't an easy chore for me to do.
It was a chore.
It wasn't an easy chore for me to do. Just like Leia, I find that every single movie just has something that I find is ridiculous, that just sucks the
fandom right out of you.
me.
Sucks the Star Wars fanboy right out of you.
Okay, and so I'm happy to get new Star Wars movies, the stories, but as a big time fan, I find myself like, oh my God, why'd they do this? We could have did this better. You know, some of the ideas, Leia being included in the first one, Phantom Menace, since we're going to start talking about him right away. Jar Jar Binks. I hate that to be my first topic of the character was
You're
terrible.
gonna get
terrible.
no argument from anybody.
Should we do a thing where, like, okay, let's talk about Phantom Menace. You want to each go through and give like out of 10, and then we like start talking about the movie.
Let's do that.
See how we each feel about it right off the bat.
I want to say one more thing before we really get into it. The best Star Wars in recent years, the best Star Wars since the original trilogy, is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's an animated show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The last 4 episodes of that show, the best Star Wars since the original trilogy, and I'll stand on it. I'll stand by that decision. I'll stand on it. Ahsoka Tano, this girl right here, the best character that Disney has done, the best character come out of prequels. She's one of my favorite Star Wars characters because she's so well written. She starts off a little smug, and she's Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. I don't really agree with that. I don't get how that got through there, but they managed to write around all of that by having her exiled from the Jedi community. And again, if you haven't seen it, the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars, even if that's all you watch of it, worth the watch. It's Darth Maul, Ahsoka, Mandalore, Order 66. They got it all in there. It's truly great Star Wars. I think it's the best Star Wars Disney has done, easily above Mandalorian, above Andor, above
Rogue One.
Oh yeah, above any of the movies. I think it's really good stuff.
You guys both seen that?
I haven't watched all of the Clone Wars cartoons.
Just the last 4 episodes. Do yourself a favor. It'll equal out to like a movie, or it probably is like a hour and a half of Star Wars, and it's just good stuff.
I know the story is canon, but sometimes I have trouble getting into the cartoons.
Yeah,
I've
same.
tried watching some of the Rebels. I get it, the story and stuff. It all ties in, but it's hard.
Yeah.
I prefer the live stuff.
Me too.
Live action.
All right. So, are we going by in retrospect, or when you left the theater? What did you give it?
You do both. You guys do both. I wasn't here for that.
You were here for the theater of that.
Episode 1.
1999. 19.
What
99.
What was he? Remember, you always tell the story. We're down in Jim's basement watching.
That was episode 7. 2017.
Watching the trailer.
Yeah. The Force Awakens with BB-8, Kylo Ren, letting
I
out
remember you
lightsaber.
being over there for that.
That was sweet, man. I'll tell you what, if we can go back to that.
Going over the snow.
Yeah. Sand.
The sand.
Oh, all right. I don't know. All runs together.
I was not alive for any of the prequels, actually.
Dude,
Maybe the last
you
one.
wouldn't get that. I
2003.
mean, because what year were you born?
2003.
So
I
you
don't
were
know
4.
when.
Yeah.
Dude, the hype coming out. Yeah, so you weren't even here for
the hype coming out.
The hype going into episode 1 was off the charts. The trailer, the teaser trailer, the very first teaser trailer, is still my favorite trailer of all time. Especially at the end when Darth Maul comes with that double blade. You're like, what the?
Everybody's like, oh!
Okay, so I want to say this.
And Darth Maul looks sweet.
Star Wars. You would agree it's a movie for all ages.
Yeah.
Movie for all ages. I'm going to argue that the Phantom Menace, and only the Phantom Menace episode 1, it's a kid's movie.
I agree with that.
Yes, fun for all ages, but the first one, it's a kid's movie. And for us Star Wars adults fans, we're giving just a few.
He tries to justify it
Darth
by
Maul
saying that. Oh, it's a
included.
kids movie. But you're right. Star
No,
Wars
it is.
Empire Star Wars and Empire, Jedi even might have been more of a kids movie, but
still-
Star Wars is not a kids movie. It appeals.
Yes, Jedi I thought was the first one that I actually think if you watch Harrison Ford and Leia and Luke and some of the scenes in Endor, it's almost like they kind of have a little tongue-in-cheek humor. Whereas you watch the first two, Star Wars and Empire, even though it's good for all ages, it's straight acting. It's serious acting.
Right.
Phantom Menace, it's a kids movie. From
good
Jar Jar
observation.
Binks to the robots, Roger.
Yeah, this is
It's
stupid.
to the pod race. It appeals for kids. To get that adult money coming in, you gotta throw adults some bones. Something that us diehards want. Enter Darth Maul. Phantom Menace is 2.5 hours long. How much screen time does Darth Maul get? What's your
enough.
guess?
8 minutes.
I would say, well, with the battle, with the lightsaber duel at the end, I would say
15 minutes.
6 or 7 minutes. 6 or 7 minutes.
Jim's closer. All right. Let me grab my phone. I took a screenshot of this. 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Darth
That's
Maul
a
is on the screen.
disservice.
That is a
That's a
disservice.
disservice to Darth Maul. I think that's why they brought him back. It's the same reason they did Jango Fett in those movies. It's because
100%.
Boba Fett was so cool, but we killed him right away. And so they were like, we need Boba Fett in here somehow. Oh, Jango, we'll get into it. Obviously.
We'll get into
I'm going
it.
to say that's my biggest complaint of the whole prequel is that you took Darth Vader, sweetest movie villain of all time, up until these prequels, and you mucked him up. Nobody cares about it. Darth Vader's not threatening anymore. He's a pud. He's a weak. He's overrated. What has he ever done?
He killed some kids that trusted him.
That trusted. Yeah, you didn't even really have to fight him because they thought you were a good guy and hey, Anakin's going to help us out. You did nothing. Like when we saw the original trilogy, the Clone Wars, Darth Vader hunted down the Jedi and killed them. You're like, man. Now if I had to write a movie from that, Darth Vader would be hunting down and killing Jedi. Think of that movie. Think of that movie trilogy.
We have to do a segment in this too where, because by and large, like unlike I think you guys, I by and large like the prequels. But there are major things that I think they could have done better. Like for example, you should have kept Darth Maul as the villain through all. None of this Darth Sidious,
Dooku and
Right.
Grievous.
It should have been
It's just
Maul
too
all
much.
the way through.
Oh, could you imagine?
And then, right, because then that would have gave weight to Anakin replacing, because there can only be two. So the Emperor decided that I want Anakin, not Darth Maul anymore, right?
Yeah.
And there would be a bit of drama there, and then maybe that last battle is between.
Dude, you imagine like Episode 3, Anakin and Darth Maul dueling?
Yeah, and that's why he's too tired to really take on Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Oh, he hunted down Obi-Wan and Yoda are afraid of this guy. Obi-Wan clowned him.
The crazy thing
Yeah.
is, too, Obi-Wan hunted him down on Mustafar. He didn't hunt down Obi-Wan.
He goes and finds him and clowns him in a one-on-one battle, leaves him there to burn. Okay, cuts off all of his limbs, leaves him there to burn, walks away and goes and Why? Why did you go into hiding? Yoda, same thing. Yeah, he goes toe-to-toe with Palpatine and then he just runs away. I'm never going, they lost. I was like,
Right, you're like,
if they
really
lost, they
won.
lost of their own accord because they just left. It never, like you said, Darth Vader was supposed to go around killing the Jedi, and the clones did that. They shot him in the back. A cooler movie would have been
Darth
seeing
Vader hunting down
not
and
even
killing
Darth Vader,
Jedi.
but Anakin before he gets in the suit going Jedi to Jedi.
Yeah, that would
and he
be
slowly is getting cut down limb by limb because he takes out more than he can
legend
chew.
was always
But to see
Obi-Wan,
what
yeah.
we want to see, I think you're starting to move that movie into the realm of potentially pushing rated R.
How sweet would that be? Yeah,
Correct.
Right.
But you're
could've
not
done
going to
it,
be
though.
able
You
to
could've
do
done it.
that.
I think those stories would be more impactful. Like I say, I look at Darth. I don't look at the Darth Vader the same anymore. He's like Boba Fett, the most overrated character.
But you could have made it so sweet. Like
Yeah,
my
could have made
idea
it.
was you could have taken Episode 1 and 2 and combined them into Episode 1. Anakin should have been older, and he should have already been doing like maybe a Padawan with Obi-Wan and doing. And then at the end of Episode 1, you have what essentially was the end of Episode 2, the Clone Wars starting. Episode 2 should have been like the Clone Wars stuff. Take the last 4 episodes of that cartoon. That should have been Episode 2. Then and he turns at the end of episode 2. Then episode 3, you have him hunting down Jedi. You have he dueling Darth Maul for supremacy with Sidious. You have him, fighting Obi-Wan. I mean, it could have been sweet. It could have been so sweet.
Could have been.
Coulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
But you killed Darth Maul in his first
Yeah,
appearance.
I can stomach the prequels. I mean, I haven't gone back and watched them.
The best thing I can say about the sequels is they made me appreciate the prequels more.
That's about the. That's about the. Yes, I cannot live with the sweet sequels at all. I give the first sequel, episode, what is that? 7. We've talked about this. I'm lukewarm on that. I kind of liked it. It was cool for nostalgia purposes, but obviously not a great story. You just rehash. But it was cool.
I think it was also hindered by too much CGI.
Well, that's the prequel.
Episode 7.
The prequels.
Oh, prequels.
The prequels.
Yeah, let's get back to that. All right, your scores walking out of the theater were what?
Walking out of the theater?
Walking out of the theater, Phantom Menace. Oh,
Dude, we went...
everything you wanted?
I'd say 5. 4 or 5.
When you first saw it?
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I remember from that. I remember...
So you were disappointed? Right from the get-go?
Right.
Not to get my John Carpenter jab in there. There's 2 movies I feel in my lifetime that I walked out actually, not sick, but like, what did I just watch? For what I thought I was going to get, Phantom Menace, for the hype of Star Wars, we're getting more Star Wars. And then when they made the sequel to Escape from New York, Escape from LA,
yeah.
That was ridiculous.
That was
Those 2 movies
was a blow
stand out. Like, what did I just waste and witness?
I can remember leading into episode 1. We were so excited. My buddies and I, like Tim Steinbauer and Tim Herzog, we actually camped out in the parking lot of the movie
That's
theater.
how it was, yeah.
And we got tickets for that midnight show. Oh, no, we went and saw it like that next day, I think. And then I remember seeing it, and I remember you and I were coaching track at the time. And I remember seeing you at Strobel Field, and you hadn't seen it, and you were like, "How is it?" I came out of it opposite, like, because the last thing I remembered was that lightsaber battle with Darth Maul.
The
I was
music.
like, dude, I was like, just wait till you see this lightsaber fight. Like, they're fighting lightsabers like we've never seen in movies before. And then when you go back, and kind of maybe what I did with Stranger Things season 5, and you start to think about it, and you go back and you see, it's Banta Poodoo and like all that stupid stuff. I don't know. Look, when I first walked out, I thought it was really good. Now when I look back at it, there's still some things to like about it though. Like,
Sure.
I like the pod race. Like, I will say the story of episode 1. How else would Sidious be able to infiltrate and take over the Jedi Order? I like the idea that he went in through like a trade
The
dispute
whole political thing.
and became a senator. Was a senator
I appreciate that.
he got himself elected to chancellor.
Yep.
Like, I love that. Like the way he infiltrated everything without having to do it with lightsabers and things. Because he can't win a battle of 2 on hundreds. So that I wish they could have taken that somehow and. The ideas are there. The execution maybe wasn't.
But I had a problem also, though. You have all these Jedi around, and nobody can get something feels off in the force.
a little.
Every time I walk by that guy, it's like there's a big black hole right there.
Yeah.
I don't get an evil sense, but there's like an emptiness.
For him
There's
to be
something
able to do 2,
But I think that goes part of the story. The Jedi were so prideful. That was pride cometh before the fall.
Yeah.
They were so powerful that they couldn't see like what was right. They're like, two Sith are never.
Let's talk about that for a second. Like you say, they're too powerful. I guess it's not it is retcon. R2D2 has all these gadgets in the prequels, and he can fly, and he can do this and that. The Jedi have all these extra abilities in the prequels.
Super speed, for
Super
instance.
speed, for instance, which I don't know if I read it or we figured it out. Why didn't Obi-Wan just super speed through the things to get to Darth Maul? He had to stop and wait. He didn't use his, at the beginning they go.
Okay, so
they like in a blink of an eye.
when Obi, right before he kills Darth Maul, he's hanging in that tube, and then shoots up, backflips, and cuts him in half. Is
Well,
that
we're
not
talking
me?
about the
When he-
gates
when he
closing and
jumps
how they
up?
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not?
No. Qui-Gon's already dead.
Yeah, what he was saying, the super speed.
Oh
part,
yeah, when the
gates are open and closed,
force
they keep
fields, yeah.
stopping
Yep,
with each
yep.
other. I didn't just run through there. I imagine you run fast enough to even get through the force field at the speed they were moving.
And the second Obi-Wan was trapped behind that force field, the first time I saw it, I knew Qui-Gon was dying.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah, you knew right
I
away.
knew right away. Oh, there he is. Obi-Wan can't get there. He's done. So my point was with Obi-Wan in that pit, they show him, kind
Yeah,
of flying.
it's kind of a-
It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right. In Empire Strikes Back, Luke falls into the carbonite.
Carbon freezing.
And all of a sudden, boom, he
shoots
shoots out like a rocket. They could have filmed something like that.
Oh,
How did
yeah.
Luke get that power? Well, Obi knew how to do it because he did it in the pit, but instead it's almost like he
Is there something
it's
different?
like slow
that
motion.
Luke was
Yeah.
standing there and used his legs, where Obi-Wan, all he had was basically his fingertips to shoot him.
perhaps.
But still, you would think if you have the Force, you can
Right.
propel
Levitate.
yourself up.
It's levitating.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is there ever a threat of falling anywhere?
That's the
with the
thing. That you
Force?
shouldn't have to explain.
Like if you're ever on a ledge getting backed in in a lightsaber battle, getting backed onto a ledge, would it even matter? Couldn't you just step as if it was ground?
Right. I can
Speaking
move
of-
objects. Let me grab that rock and throw it under me. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Speaking
like,
of, like,
the super
Force.
speed run, like maybe you could say, oh, he was afraid because there was that pit, like at the end, maybe he wouldn't
Oh, he
stop
couldn't stop in time.
Or
That's what
Darth
you're
Maul.
going
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any
He could
sense.
have
if
flew
you
jumped
think
across
about
to the other side.
Or you can say, well, Darth Maul might have, he would have been defenseless if Darth Maul. But you shouldn't have to explain it. If you can do it, you should be able to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I mean. The prequels, and that goes back to I don't know what show where they had Darth Vader board the blockade runner at the beginning of Star Wars, and they showed him wiping
Rogue One.
everybody
Rogue
out.
One.
Okay,
That was
Okay.
the end of Rogue One. wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which
but
is awesome.
but
Sweet.
but for the rest of the trilogy, he can't do any of that. You're making it even more immediate now. He did it at the beginning of those movies. He's throwing people around and he's stopping
Okay,
lasers.
so this, in your defense, you make a valid point. But I also think, okay, what are we talking? 77, 80,
Oh, yeah.
83?
Agree.
So you can't do some of that stuff, even if it's technologically possible in film to do some of that cool stuff. I think they knew, like, hey man, PG, keep it to a minimal. You can't go too crazy.
But he's saying, as of you have, this is the character in the original trilogy. Going into Rogue One, you can't film that scene because
He
Retroactively.
didn't do none of that stuff.
he couldn't. Yeah, you didn't see him doing any of that.
You're
So
devaluing the
now
original.
you're going
now.
In
Oh.
episode 4, when he chokes that rebel soldier, does he like grab him by the throat and like lift him up?
Yeah.
Like why would why
Right.
can't he just use the Force and do it?
well, he does use the. I mean, I don't know if we can be that nitpicky about him grabbing a guy because he always is doing that
Yeah,
little
he
on the
always-
side in
yeah.
those meetings. He's always choking those guys.
And he does
for
Force
fucking
choke that
trash
dude
on
in
him.
episode 4 in the
Yes.
Death
Yeah.
Star. Can I ask you a question about Rogue One that I've always had? I've never understood this ever.
I'll try my best.
So in episode 8, one of the major, conflicts in the movie was that the Empire figured out a way to track ships through hyperspace. So at the end of Rogue One, Leia gets the plans and she goes on the Tantive 4, the blockade runner, and she's like, we got these plans, let's get out of here. And they jump to hyperspace.
Right.
And Vader's left sitting there. And remember, he's like looks at
Watches
it. and
them going off. Right.
So then, how in episode 4 do you all of a sudden have
The
Vader chasing the
destroyer-
Tantive 4
thing.
above Tatooine? How did he track them? Where did he know they were going to make the jump to hyperspace? Where were they going to come out? She obviously takes the plans from there right to Tatooine to get to Ben. And so, how did Vader know? Did he just assume, oh, she must be going to find he didn't even know Obi-Wan Kenobi was alive at that point. How does Vader track her to Tatooine at the opening of episode 4? Is there an explanation for that?
I don't think so.
Because it clearly jumps to hyperspace at the end of Rogue One.
Right.
She gets away. He's standing there looking out into space with his lightsaber, pissed off.
It might have been. There could have been some time passing through there, and they got spotted by another Star Destroyer, another outpost, and they're like, "Hey, that's that ship you're looking for."
But why would you have an outpost in Tatooine? It was like the outer rim.
Well, they were coming to Tatooine. I mean, it might have been back there a few hundred miles. Hey, the ship is here and it's
Maybe.
heading towards Tatooine.
I don't know if there's ever an in-universe canonical explanation.
It doesn't. I'm saying it doesn't have to be the next minute. Although they do say that it is, don't they?
She says, she's like, we're taking these to... She doesn't say Obi-Wan, but she says that this is going to give us hope. She's like, we got these plans. And they're in the same ship. It's not like they would have gone back to Alderaan and for a month or something.
No.
Yeah, if you can light speed jump there, you light speed jump there.
See,
Yeah,
okay,
true.
so imagine you're Lucas and you have this idea for this movie called Star Wars. All right, you make it. and then it becomes more popular than you could ever have imagined in your wildest dreams. Money maker, everything. To where the public demands more. So now, okay, so even if I'm the writer, okay, well, what was I thinking for this character, for this character? What can I do to show what Jedi powers? So when we sit here and critique some of this stuff, I can't help but think, well, all these years later, you try to do more Star Wars and show what powers they might have and we're uber critical, though. So
but I think you got to take care of that as the creator and the writer. You got to be able to know the bounds and the limits you set with your first thing. Oh, this is the world I created. And yeah, it's a little loose from episode 4, but I narrow it and tighten it in episode 5 and do more in episode 6. And now if I go back to write these movies, yeah, the Jedi are more powerful. I can do more with them, but I can't be writing stuff that directly conflicts the movies I already set up.
That's what was awesome about the original trilogy. There's nothing that happens in episode 6 that you wouldn't have believed happened from episode 4. There was nothing like a great leap where all of a sudden episode 6 Vader was like doing flips and this and that and the other.
Right.
Like he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is you made the world, whether you like it or not, through 4, 5, and 6. That's the world. That's the rules.
That's that time. That's your timeline that you've established.
Yeah, because you can't sit here and defend George Lucas for, oh, he didn't know what he was doing. And then you have people out there that are able to do that with their characters and their lore and keep it all together over multiple different projects or pieces of a book, let's say, or something like that. It just is kind of, it's kind of my problem with Stranger Things. It's just, there's a lack of care at that point. If you don't keep the limits how you set them because you want to play with them and do different stuff, how you're saying is, oh, we need to cut them some slack. We can't cut everybody slack. It would be the same thing again, just because Game of Thrones has a lot of lore and everything. It would be if George R.R. Martin decides, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to completely change. I'm going to snap it off and change everything or go back and change the rules.
Yeah, dragons no longer can fly.
Because then you get into trouble. Like, for example, at the end of episode 3, Yoda takes that Force lightning from Palpatine. Don't you think he would have told Luke in episode 5 when he's training him, hey, by the way, if you ever come across Palpatine, there's a good chance he's going to hit you with Force lightning. Like, because all of a sudden, episode 6, it was sweet in episode 6 because you didn't know, because that's the first time you ever saw the Empire. But now knowing what we know from episode 3, you're like, Yoda, you let this dude down. You never told him how to defend himself against Force lightning. You know? Yeah, exactly. So I see what you're saying.
It's just you can't get willy-nilly because you want to do different stuff. You have rules set up. You have scenarios set up, as you just mentioned. Oh, Luke gets hit by Force lightning. Okay, then you can't have Yoda get hit by Force lightning, be able to channel it, and never exactly how you said.
Never tell Luke, or at least throw your lightsaber up. This is how you catch it with the lightsaber.
Yeah, you could.
Your lightsaber can absorb it.
You might not be powerful enough to hone it. But
like that would like if nothing else, that would be like final last words. Dude, don't go. You need to stay on Dagobah and finish your training. No, I gotta go, man. All right, well, let me tell you something.
Here's a list I have. You come across it, or maybe Yoda never thought that Luke would come across. I mean, he had to have thought that
he knew he was going to fight Darth Vader, at least.
But he comes back in between Empire and Jedi to finish his training.
In the comics or something.
Well, no, in the movies. He goes back after Empire.
He goes back in Jedi.
Yeah.
For like a second.
No, but he goes back in between to finish his training on Dagobah. Between off screen.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that? Like, did they ever have like comics about that or something? Him going back to Dagobah?
I don't know if they ever did, but I'm agreeing with your point even more.
But how could he have gone back?
He went back and trained.
How? Because he says at the end of Empire, he says to Lando, he's like, I'm going to meet you at the rendezvous point on Tatooine. And then Lando leaves. So wouldn't Luke have gone like right there? Or does he wait like 5 years?
I think I just always assumed, I don't know if they said it, I guess I just assumed that he went in between.
He had to do something because all of a sudden, end of Empire, he's beat up, scrubby dude, and then remember
he comes back with the
Jedi. He walks in, he's all into black, and he's like, he's obviously leveled up.
There's a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi of
where
him
he
building
builds
the lightsaber.
Oh, right.
But see, he had to go and learn that.
But when? Like,
That's what I was like.
Is Lando like in that skip outfit on Tatooine for like 3 years at Jabba's palace? I was like, where the hell is Luke? Why isn't he here yet? He must be on Dagobah.
I don't think it's ever stated how long a time frame it is between Empire and Jedi.
I bet we could Google it and find out.
I wonder.
Canonically,
right?
like what?
I know from Phantom Menace
need to
to
get a
the
little
Clone
laptop.
Wars,
I know. We need
it's
a
10
guy.
years.
We need a guy.
Between what?
Between the Phantom Menace and the Clone Wars, it's 10 years. Because Anakin makes the comment when he's with Obi going back to see Padme that I haven't seen her in 10 years.
Yeah, you're right.
And he goes from a kid to a kid. So I kind of assumed the same thing that you did. From the end of Empire, for Jedi to start with him being a Jedi in black, I kind of just assumed, well, it makes sense. He probably went back to Dagobah and finished his training.
He comes back,
but then he goes to Dagobah again to see Yoda again.
Because when he goes back to Yoda and Jedi, he asks him about Vader. That would have been the first thing he would ask him if he went back between Empire and Jedi.
Dude just said he's my dad. What's up with that?
Yeah. He goes, and Jedi, he clearly says, he's like, is Darth Vader my father? And Yoda's like, your father, he is. Luke would have found that out if he was back there between Empire and Jedi. I think when he goes back into Return of Jedi, that's the first time he's been back to see Yoda.
Perhaps.
Or
Yoda doesn't want to really tell him.
It says no. He did not finish. He did not go back and train between those movies.
So how does he all of a sudden go walking into Jabba's palace?
That's what I'm saying. I guess maybe that's what I thought he was. I was
might
like,
have had time to think and
think it through,
meditate and stuff. But again, how long was he actually with Yoda on Dagobah?
That's a whole can of worms. We are into episodes 4, 5, and 6.
We're hot and lay inside that asteroid for like 6 months, before that.
Apparently,
before that worm comes out after. Like Luke, because it seems like from the movie that Luke was there for like a couple days.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, you would think he would have been there for months and months, but the Han and Leia story is a couple hours.
Yeah.
All right, back to the prequels.
I'll say when I was in the theater watching the beginning of those, and they were on what's the water planet? Yeah, and they're in that thing, and it goes underwater, and the bigger fish eats the bigger fish. I was like, what am I getting here? What is this?
Jar Jar stuff.
Yeah.
It's a kids movie.
And there was a lot of that in the middle. I was like, even watching it the first time. But I'll agree with you. You leave it and you're like, oh, that was pretty sweet because of Darth Vader. I mean, they nailed that. Darth Maul. They nailed that. That music, the double lightsaber, that was sweet.
It was sweet. It was stupid though when Anakin destroys the battleship. He's like, oh, this was a neat trick.
The whole Anakin.
Oh, this is pod racing. That should have been. Anakin should have known what he was. That should have been a Padawan Anakin doing that stuff. That's what I'm saying. If you combine episode 1 and 2, make Anakin old, make Anakin Hayden Christensen in episode 1, have Darth Maul the villain all the way through. You could have still salvaged some sweet stuff. So what's your rating when you walk out of the theater?
I would say it's probably a 7 or 8 when I walked out, but now I give it like a 5.
I'm probably the same. When I walked out, I was on a high. I was like, okay, this is like an 8 or 9. But when you go back and you think about it, I would still probably say a 6 out of 10.
The midichlorians, that whole...
That's... what's funny is he had that idea from the get-go, like way back when he was writing the original treatment.
I get that, but you've gotten to this point.
They should have been.
And you just be like, let's just not explain it.
I still give it a 6 out of 10. I like the pod race. I like the lightsaber battle.
I appreciate it more revisiting it, even though it was a chore. I still, lots of things, like I said, Jar Jar just takes it out of me.
But see, the funny thing is, like, I can't. Jar Jar Binks is the worst, but like, you talk to little kids maybe who watch that in the theater.
Made for kids.
They love Jar Jar Binks.
Sure. We're adults when we're watching it.
Yeah,
we got the original trilogy. Where once again, even though it's fun for all ages, it's not.
But I think it, like you said, it transitioned because I've heard Lucas say this. Well, they say to sell toys. Star Wars and Empire, not the case. Jedi, Ewoks, you started to go down that road. And then Phantom Menace and all these other movies, I think was you were thinking.
But later on, the movies became the product of the toys. The toys drove the movies.
And you can see the transition from the quality of the movie to the quality of the movie.
So when you came out of Phantom Menace, you were like at a 4. You said 4 out of 10.
Okay, so I thought Maul was cool, but even coming out of the movie, I was like, really? That was all we got? He's gone already? He's not going to be... Because you knew the trilogy, it was going to be a trilogy. Mm-hmm. So already in episode 1, I'm like, they got rid of him already?
Yeah, they got rid of him.
The whole Jar Jar thing, all the robots, Roger. It was, to me, it just was like...
What are we doing here?
Despite 15 to 20 minutes of adult-themed visualization and fighting, everything else to me is just, eh. But now watching it, like, I agree. I like the story. I like the political side of seeing Palpatine move up. You know, the love story between Anakin and her.
So what's your rating right now today of Phantom Menace out of 10?
Still may only go, like, maybe 6.
Same. Yeah. Which is not bad.
Which is not bad. Above average. 5 would be average to me.
What's your out of 10?
Like a 3.
3 out of 10?
I just don't. I lived in a tyrannical household growing up. You know, we weren't allowed to watch certain movies.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying if I wanted to watch Star Wars, I had my pick from episode 4, 5, or 6. Okay? If I wanted to watch a Rocky, any of them but 5. I don't even know if we have a copy of Rocky 5 in this house.
We do not.
To this day, I haven't seen it. Okay? And that goes with a lot of movies. There's a lot of banned movies in my growing up household. For the better, I'll say that for the better, absolutely.
Just trying to save you a couple hours.
And so I never watched. I don't think I ever watched this movie as a kid growing up. So there was no love for Jar Jar Binks or the pod racing, and even, I mean, I really.
Can you appreciate the Sidious story, like infiltrating the Senate and all that kind of stuff?
See, I think it was just done so kind of like boring. I feel like the whole lead up to the Darth Maul fight is boring. Like the whole movie's pretty boring to me, at least, because I just don't.
I do feel it's slow moving, yeah.
I just don't really care for anyone, and I don't really buy anybody's relationship. Like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, they don't seem like they really are friendly with each other. They seem just kind of like, disgruntled with each other. The same goes with Anakin and Obi-Wan throughout the whole trilogy. I never feel like those two are in some sort of bond where they can be considered friends.
Like even brothers, Anakin or Obi-Wan uses in episode 3. He's like, "You're my brother."
Like, I don't even believe it at all, ever. They don't have like a moment of quip or, you know, like Luke and Han. I was like, yeah, those guys are buddies, man, to the end. But
episode 2, Obi-Wan seems more annoyed with Anakin than anything
absolutely.
else.
Absolutely. He just seems, that's what I'm saying, like he doesn't care for Anakin in episode 1 at all. Which I get is Qui-Gon is supposed to be like the father figure he never had. But it's like, you know, Obi-Wan and him are supposed to have this relationship that is going to be the hinge of emotion when he turns. So why not give it a little bit? Why not make him seem like an older brother? He actually cares for Anakin right off the bat.
Which goes to what you were saying. Then they can't do that when he's 6. They should have fast forwarded through that, or not even, like you say, maybe just start when he was 15 or something. And then episode 1 and 2 is them training together, growing together.
Going on adventures.
It's a buddy cop.
Yeah,
Lethal Weapon except Star Wars.
Lethal Weapon except Star Wars, where these guys have been through some crap together, have saved each other's lives.
You didn't need to see how they found Anakin. He should have just been like, I know you wanted to make him the chosen one, but that still could have been explained with a little bit of exposition or something like that.
I do want to say this regarding, they're all good actors. But if you really pay attention to those movies, I think the fact that it was so much CG, imagine really trying to get into character where I just got a green screen here, I got green screen people in green tights.
Plus,
how do I, there's so many times I'm watching, they go to look at Jar Jar, and you're Jar Jar, and you can tell my eyes are looking over 6 inches over where your eyes really are.
And I'll say this in their defense, that was probably one of the first movies that used to that extent. The Marvel ones use it all the time now, but those actors are used to it.
Yep.
You know, it's been around for 20 years. They've been exposed to it, whereas that was probably one of the first instances where it was major CGI, so it was difficult.
All right, we have Empire Strikes Back where we get Yoda.
It's a puppet.
It's a puppet. Yet in the prequels we get Yoda, and it's all CGI.
Why? Again, that goes back to what you're saying. You have established this is what Yoda looks like. I know that that's not the same Yoda I grew up with and watched. Just use that damn puppet. Sprinkle in a little CGI if you need to have him walk across if you can't pull it off.
Or if he uses a lightsaber or something like that.
You know what? That's another thing. He starts flipping around. Come on. What are we doing?
You want to move to episode 2 now?
What move to episode 2? Is that where he's flipping around?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah, but
I'm just overboard.
Before we go to episode 2, Darth Maul always was cool. You know, I think even at a young age I was like, oh, that guy always stood on business, even for the 6 minutes of screen time he had.
He stood on business for 6 minutes,
bro. He walks in, 2 Jedi Masters are looking at him. Ignites a double lightsaber. He said,
Yeah, he's got it.
You know, like, come on.
I
He ignites one, you're like, oh.
I
this
even
guy's
like
gonna be
that first
trouble.
lightsaber battle with Qui-Gon on Tatooine was even sweet for like the 2 minutes it was. And like him was like he like flipped
Yeah.
off that speeder and you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like,
And he tries
the
to
way
hit
they were
Anakin.
like moving.
He doesn't even know who Anakin is. You know, that's Darth Maul to the max right there, speeding.
He didn't care.
Anakin he's just gonna run him over, okay? And it's not
Qui-Gon
even
has to like knock him down or something.
yeah.
Like,
He
"Get
goes,
down."
Anakin, get down. Anakin, no one even knows who he is at this point. You know, Darth Maul has no Grievous
He just run him
whatsoever.
over.
He's just like, this is a child in the way.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run him over, okay? And it's like, yeah, that's the villain you want for a trilogy, you know. And he doesn't say anything. He just stands there, menacingly. And then again, he lights up that double lightsaber, and I was like, oh, dude. This guy's gonna kill somebody. And he does. He kills Qui-Gon. And like young Obi-Wan beats him. I always hate when a cool character dies. to a
there's your
not
guy.
cool character.
There's your guy. Darth Vader is one of the weaker Jedi. Obi-Wan is the guy.
Oh, absolutely.
He defeats Vader,
He defeats Maul.
Twice.
defeats Maul, defeats
He defeats Vader 3 times.
when?
Well, did you ever watch the Obi-Wan series?
Man, I told you, I don't watch this stuff no more.
So actually he defeated Vader on Mustafar and then he defeats him in the series. And then really though, in episode 4 when he just like
Yeah, he gave up.
because he knew he could become more valuable to Luke.
I think there was a second
a
right
real
there
guy
where
right there.
yes, Obi and you see Obi recognize that Luke is running by, and in that thought of okay, if I want to protect this young kid from his evil father, what's the best thing I could maybe do?
Yeah,
Because if he
right.
strikes me down and Luke sees that, is going to make him hate that man even more.
But see, I don't know that
Here's
you want
another-
to teach Luke, hey, that's not the Jedi way. I think that he lets Vader strike him down because he had been training with Yoda and Qui-Gon, and he can in the Death Star trench, he's like, Luke, use the Force. Like you can help
still
him
teach
more through his Force ghost than as an old man who can barely lift a lightsaber anymore. You know.
I got 2 comments.
But
why not?
I think it's also very Jedi though to let yourself.
Okay, but then if I'm Obi-Wan, wouldn't I continue to fight Darth while they
hold
get in
off,
the Falcon and get the hell out of the Death Star?
Dodge. Yeah.
You know what? I'm holding them off so they can escape. They haven't even escaped. They're still in the Death Star, and Obi decides, okay, now's the time.
I think it's because Alec Guinness was not contracted for a second movie. But number 2, this is another big problem with the prequels. All of a sudden, Obi-Wan is 70 and can't lift a lightsaber. I don't know how old he is, but yeah, he obviously was not performing versus Darth Vader. Luke is 15, 16. End of the prequels, Obi-Wan Kenobi's stretching it to say 40.
Yeah, he's probably 30. I would say 30-ish, maybe.
So, from the prequels to Star Wars, Episode 4 is 16 years.
You'd have to go on and look
Okay,
online to see what the ages are. Meant
I
to
might
be.
argue maybe
Well,
push 20.
I see what you're saying, but
I don't think
No,
Luke, is
Luke
15
was
or
a farm
16.
kid.
He's a kid, but he
Even if
still
he
looks
is
like
20.
he's
Even if he is
18.
20.
18, okay.
And we say that
Obi
was
60s,
45.
65. I could. How old was Alec Guinness in the original Star Wars?
He had to be 70.
I
sure
could
he's
see
an
if
old
like
guy.
Obi-Wan was
But
like
what
in
I'm
his late
saying is-
40s, and then that's another 20 years that he's in his late 60s in Episode 4. But I see what you're saying.
I don't
He
think
was
he's in his late
aged
We're
40s.
stretching.
stress.
We're stretching
Yeah.
to,
I don't think
to
he was
make
in his
it
late
even
40s.
reasonable.
Yeah.
At the end of that late 40s, I don't think so.
Who's Anakin's dad?
Yeah, late 40s, no way.
Anakin's dad?
Who's Anakin's dad?
He didn't have a dad.
Okay.
He was a midichlorian.
It's a virgin. Why you brought
It's a
that
virgin birth.
up. Yeah.
See that?
Immaculate conception.
Yep.
See, that's how you need a little laptop.
I know. We need a guy.
Well, you're looking that up. All right, we're going to transition to episode 2 now. Because we haven't hardly even talked about episode 2 other than like Jango Fett.
No. So that's what I'll start with just really quick. Okay, so Darth Maul is gone. Phantom
He's
Menace.
19.
He's 19.
But I think that's retrofitting because I know growing up
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
he was
too.
like 15
He was
or
supposed to
16.
be young.
Yeah.
So Attack of the Clones, we don't have Darth Maul. That cool figure's gone. What are we gonna give the true fans to like? Oh, I gotta go. Oh, let's throw out Boba Fett's dad. Let's throw out Jango.
I mean, we're just getting dumber and dumber.
Just
we're
throw
doing.
out Count Dooku.
Count the okay, exactly. It's like okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. How do you go from Darth Maul to Count Dooku? In character design terms,
Although
like
Count
Darth
Dooku-
Maul was evil.
Count
38.
Dooku, though, took down
So,
So
Obi-Wan was 38, so plus
48,
19.
58. He's supposed to be 58.
57.
57 in episode 4. And he looked like he was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And a bad 70s. He hadn't been eating right, hadn't been exercising.
He's a hermit.
He's a hermit.
Living
That's
in
what
the desert.
that's what the sand of Tatooine will do to you.
So, that's
Same
a
thing
problem.
with Jango Fett in episode 2. 6 to 7 minutes total screen time. 2.5 hour movie. Yep.
Here's what I like about episode 2, Obi-Wan as a detective.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cloning planet. I like that explanation of how the clones came to be.
Mm-hmm.
I like Obi-Wan and Jango's short but pretty sweet fight. That ocean planet was pretty sweet. I can buy.
Camino.
It's still. I didn't need it, but I can buy the explanation for Boba Fett that he was a clone given to Jango as his price. I think there could have been a better way to show Yoda. He didn't need to like flip around and fight. I think as a Jedi Master like Yoda, there could have been a better way for Yoda to fight.
More of a
Dooku.
master
more of a
than-
masterful than like flipping from thing to thing.
When I saw that, I thought it was silly.
Yeah.
That was almost a Princess Leia moment for me.
It would have been sweet almost if like Yoda would have just like remember in episode
Almost
1.
he doesn't even use a lightsaber.
Yeah, when you remember
Almost
when
don't even
Qui-Gon
have to show him
goes down on his knees in episode 1 and like rests when he's waiting for Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Like Yoda could have done that and then just had like Maul not even been able to like see him or like not been able to like done something.
a different tactic
Yeah,
rather
some
than
sweet Jedi.
lightsaber.
Yeah,
Is this the one with the battle arena?
yeah,
Yeah.
Geonosis.
I'm gonna go with that is the best scene of the whole trilogy because
All
of
the
Natalie
Jedi.
Portman.
Yeah.
The-
Oh, we didn't even talk about in episode 2 when Anakin goes back to Tatooine when his mom dies and he takes out those
Oh,
Tusken
the Tusken
Raiders.
Raiders. And then goes back and tells her.
See, that could have
I
been
was
something
so
sweet
mad.
for episode. Well, you wouldn't have needed it in episode 1. Like I didn't. That was sweet to kind of show him tapping into his anger.
That he
and
has
stuff,
an
but-
angry side.
And you're also right. Episode 2, the whole movie. It's like every time Anakin says something, if you really pay attention, go back and watch it, you'll laugh. Obi-Wan is just putting him down. You can't do that or don't do that.
Or
Why
he-
would you want to do that?
Because they wanted
to make
But Obi-Wan is like, if you spend as much time working on your saber skills as you do at your wit, you'd rival Master Yoda in swordsmanship.
Right.
And Anakin's like, I thought I already did. He's like, "Pff, only in your mind.
Yeah, Obi-Wan puts him down the whole movie. You can just tell there's little.
See, there should have been more teacher-student than me looking down to you and telling you like what a.
Which
what a
is that
screw
what
up
is
you
that
are.
what a Jedi would do? Is that what their relationship would be like as a
Right.
Jedi?
I know you wanted to show him like buddies, like we said, like a lethal weapon type thing, but it just seems like Obi-Wan is like more annoyed with him than anything else.
Yeah.
Like you're a buffoon.
Because they never have a moment of they're friendly.
Yeah, there's never a moment where
It's
Anakin does
always-
something and Obi-Wan's like, I'm so proud, like I can't,
But
it's amazing. what
But
they're
I
doing.
think you need that for Anakin to have that part of him that's like, ooh.
Again, but poorly done.
Right.
But not.
But you could have done that with anybody else. And Obi-Wan kind of be the refuge for him. Or that, you know what, if, Mace Windu's picking on him and Yoda's kind of giving him crap from time to time. But Obi-Wan is always there for him. Which would make it more tragic when it's
When he has to take him out.
Obi-Wan versus Anakin. Because he would take care of Mace Windu in this theoretical better prequels universe.
It could have been
just
sweet,
take care
yeah.
of Mace Windu.
All right.
Could have been sweet in episode 2 if Anakin goes to Mace or Anakin goes to the Council and wants to be made like a knight instead of a Padawan, and the Council says, "You're not ready to be a knight yet." And then he goes back to, and Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, I thought you were ready. You know, you've done that everything."
But he also does nothing. Is the biggest problem with Anakin Skywalker as a character as well. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a Jedi. He's supposed to be the greatest.
There's too much of a gap between the end of episode 1 and 2, and you don't ever see Anakin do it. All of a sudden, in episode, he goes from this little kid to this
walking around
to this guy in episode 2 is like, "Oh, you're like one of the most amazing like Padawans that's ever lived." Like you never, like you said, you never see him do anything. He blew up the droid ship on accident.
Yeah, on accident.
Oh, we'll see.
And it was a giant nuclear core that he could fly. You know, Luke Skywalker has to hit a spaceport beam down like a little hole.
Like the size of a lop rat.
With no aiming
like
device
a
or
millimeter
anything.
wide or something.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, you're right.
He never does anything for me to go, oh, he is a good Jedi. Oh, he is good with the lightsaber. And you completely sideline him in that movie because you need to... Oh, he needs to be in love with Natalie Portman or whatever. So he's not even doing anything. He's not even... You know, oh, you need to be your bodyguard. Okay, send some threats after her then. For him to fight alone on that planet. That, oh, all of a sudden there's these
send somebody
bounty
after.
hunters or something coming. They do it at the beginning. But again, it's... I don't really feel that. And it, like I'm saying, you sideline him. You completely... He's off alone, living a sweet little life with Natalie Portman. How you turn evil? How do you even turn evil at that point? You're on the best planet with the best lady. Oh, yeah, your problems are real. You got real problems, pal.
Obi-Wan's the one who fights Jango Fett. Why couldn't it have been Anakin?
That's what like you said, it was sweet to send Django after Amidala.
All right, so you say he didn't do nothing. Well, there could have been the perfect situation.
Obi-Wan
where, like,
doesn't need to do anything.
At that age, right?
Because we saw him fight Darth Maul. We know he's legit.
It's at the end
Anakin
of
needs to do
episode 2
something.
when you see, you know, basically the clones and those like almost like Star Destroyers taking off. It's supposed to be like this, like all inspiring scene. I was more disappointed after episode 2 than I was at episode 1. I remember watching, oh man, that lightsaber battle was sweet. Episode 2, I watched, I was like, oh my, I wasn't excited about it. Even though there should have been a better lightsaber battle between like Anakin and Dooku. Obi-Wan just gets like taken out like a punk by Dooku. Anakin, you know, fights him a little bit closer. There was one sweet scene when Anakin's fighting Dooku, which is the culminating lightsaber battle at the end, and like all the lights are out, and all you see is like the blue and the red glow,
yeah,
and you can see for a second Anakin's like wielding a saber, and you can see this look on Dooku's face for a second, like, who is this kid? Like, what is going on? This, I've never seen a kid like this. But then all of a sudden, and he chops Anakin's arm off.
Yeah,
like,
he gets completely beat in every lightsaber battle as well.
There's a flash on Dooku's face where he's like, "Oh my god, this is like more than I expected from the past."
But also,
like,
Dooku, how old is Dooku? Oh, I'm 60 years old. I'm doing
yeah, and that whole mystery of like Darth Sifo Dyas and Sidious and Dooku, and that was.
That's what I'm saying. That was another Maul battle.
They should have kept. That should have been Maul.
And it was Anakin versus Maul, and Maul has his two-blade lightsaber, and Anakin has to go against him. Maybe he picks up another lightsaber, picks up Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
Yeah,
or something.
sweet.
I'd have probably walked out from Clone, maybe giving it a 6.5.
I think this one's even worse than I think this one's even more boring.
Each one of the prequels to me got better.
See, I think I walked out of Attack. If I walked out of Phantom Menace thinking it was like an 8 out of 10, I walked out of. And now I think it's a 6 out of 10. I would say for Attack of the Clones, I probably walked out thinking it was like a 6 out of 10, and I'm probably like at a 5 out of 10. There's some cool stuff about it, but I think it's the worst of the prequels.
I know. It was more action packed. I felt like you knew in this third one that you're going to have some things kind of culminate because you knew it was leading into what the original 3 were going to be. You know,
I still say episode 1 should have been episode 2. Episode 2 should have been the Clone Wars, and episode 3
should have been something.
Vader and all that stuff. What was your take walking out of the Clone Wars? And what do you think about it now?
I have never gone back and watched them ever again. I could pop in Star Wars and Empire and watch those right now and be entertained and engrossed. I have no desire. I know I probably saw them at the theaters twice. I think we owned the Phantom Menace DVD. I'm not entirely sure, but I know I did not buy the next 2.
I think we have the next two.
Maybe you got them for Christmas or something. But
On accident.
yeah, like I said, when Yoda started flipping around, I was like, come on. And the we have to have C-3PO in there. We have to have R2 in there. And R2 is flying around, and R2's got all his gadgets. It doesn't make sense to me then what happened between those movies and the original trilogy that R2 is just bumping along.
Yeah, you got older. Like, you don't still have the same phone that you had 10 years ago.
Come on! Yeah, I got a better one, man. He would get upgraded. You know what I mean? Everything.
Once again, it's like you got to just throw in the original characters for the favoritism.
And R2 never would be like...
Chewbacca is in the
Two. Oh, the third one.
The third one.
You see, you could have had C-3PO and R2-D2, but C-3PO did not have to be
made
by Vader. They could have come in with... They could have just been there like on Coruscant.
Protocol droid, sitting at a scrapyard.
Yeah, C-3PO is made by Anakin. R2 is Anakin's astromech droid and his thing.
That's stupid.
Neither one of them go, by the way.
And there were 4 droids. There were 4
by the way.
on that
Well,
ship.
they had their memories wiped at the end of episode 3.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Remember, he said Leia's
wipe
father,
these
Organa.
Yeah, wipe these
They
droids.
wiped the two. Wiped
Which
the
is
memories.
stupid.
That's such a corny
That's just-
little write-off.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
just
corny write-off.
R2
So why put him in there then?
And Lucas, I still remember interviews like from the
I know what you're gonna say.
Starlog
I know
and
what
the
you're
old
gonna say.
Fantastique or whatever. Lucas always said that he had like a 12-episode series, and it was always supposed to be told through the eyes of the droids.
Right.
They were supposed to be there the whole time.
Yes.
They were basically your muse or your narrator through all these episodes. But it could have been handled a lot better.
I don't think. I mean, I think maybe Star Wars original trilogy was that way. I don't know that he really thought it out to that extent. Because I just feel like obviously they feel like they're forced into those movies.
Oh yeah,
He's building.
this is stupid.
He's a
He's
pilot.
a slave who has nothing on tattooing, and he's got all these parts to go to protocol. Why would you even need a protocol droid on?
Yeah.
Was it to help his mom with housework or something like that? I don't even remember.
Yeah, let's not even go there. What's the rationale for? But he's a pilot and a Jedi and a warrior and whatever. I don't think that would be his hobby anyway. But why would he be building C-3PO? And why does it have to be C-3? Maybe he's building a robot. That's what kids do. But why does it have to be C-3PO? You're just forcing that.
So what's your out of 10? What do you give Attack of the Clones?
I mean, 5 tops.
Below Phantom Menace, then.
I think they're all just lumped together. I think I felt better about the Phantom Menace leaving the theaters because it was the first Star Wars, and they did manage that battle at the end, so you're kind of left with that taste in your mouth. This one, though, I think I'll go see it, see what happened, hopefully. But I think from that point on, it never has been the same for me.
All right. Anything else on Attack of the Clones?
Natalie Portman in the battle was
That's 4 of your 10 right there.
Yeah, that's 4 of the 10.
And then the arena battle with the
worth the price of the
lightsabers.
ticket.
It was worth the price of the ticket twice.
The arena battle then gave the extra 1 to get it to a 5 out of 10.
you know.
Natalie Portman's a 4 out of 10, and the Jedi Battle Dan's a 1 out of 10. So you can make it 5 out of 10.
Yes, that's an accurate. It's an accurate take. Thank you, Mr. Lamb.
You want to go to episode 3?
Let's go to episode 3.
Supposedly the most action packed. This is where it all goes down.
I'm going to go back to that other one for a second. The relationship between Anakin and Padme is just not believable at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's
I
not-
never feel like she seems creeped out by him.
Yeah.
Just like Obi-Wan always seems annoyed by him, she seems creeped out by him.
I think it's because of his acting is always very, he gets critiqued for being whiny, and he is. It's like this woman. I mean, what's the age difference there?
That's the thing. She meets him when he's like, what, 8 years old or 7 years
And
old?
she's at least 15.
That's going to be a tough sell.
Yeah.
For-
So I say 8 at the oldest. I'm even going to say maybe 7. Anakin 7.
In episode 1.
She-
In
Jeez.
episode 1.
And she's got 15,
16,
15,
probably
16,
16,
16.
15, 16.
7.
It's still ridiculous.
So at that point, he's 20, she's 27.
Do you know
I
how
think
you
if
solve all those problems?
Yes.
Christensen should have been in
Yes.
episode 1.
Yeah, right. You do
Yeah.
solve all those
Yeah.
problems. But there's never anything for her to overcome the fact that he's that much younger than her, and she met him as a small child. like you said, if those bounty hunters come and they're forced into a 45 minutes of the movie adventure,
He's protecting her. And,
they're doing, you don't ever see that.
yeah.
And it doesn't come across at all. They don't have chemistry. The lines are poorly written, and maybe he got bad direction, and he was supposed to be whiny and whatever, but they're not delivered well.
I don't
it's
think
unbelievable.
it's not his fault.
Yeah,
It's not
I just don't think I never buy Anakin Skywalker as a character. Even going into Episode 3, everything about him is always just people saying what he's supposed
that's
to be,
true.
and it never is shown. In fact, the opposite's always shown. Like you said, first of all, he's a little kid in Episode 1, so he's not even like.
So I think that puts you at a disadvantage as the viewer. You're trying to build a Darth Vader character, and you're showing him
as a little kid
As a
who
little
isn't
goofy
doing
kid.
much.
Yeah.
And then in Episode 2, again, it's just like not even the Jedi Council takes him serious. Obi-Wan doesn't take him serious. Padme seems annoyed by him or kind of creeped out by him. I'm not believing this was some great warrior and the best star pilot. Because that's what Obi-Wan says. Oh, he's a great star pilot.
That's why in
whatever.
Episode 2 would have been sweet. He should have been in Episode 2, he should have been like General Skywalker.
Yeah, he should have been going through
Ace
people
pilot.
left and
Yes.
right.
I think that's why.
Yeah, there should have
Palpatine-
been no question. Everybody that ran into him, if he's the chosen one, he's so much ahead of everybody. They
And
should know. You should. There
have
should be
like
that
the
feeling.
clones want to be his, his support team. Like they're all like, oh, I hope I get.
And you know what?
I hope I get sent to Anakin's group. He does the most crazy missions. He always gets sent into the action.
And you could have done sweet stuff like in the Clone Wars, and if it would have been Episode 2, you could have Anakin like take his team and like be in situations where he wasn't going to get out of it, and he had to like tap into the dark side and find some
Absolutely.
more power to get him out or
So
save
he's
him.
accidentally going down there without even any pride.
He's tapping into the dark side because he's got to do things to get himself out
It
of
just is
situations.
completely like crazy.
And then
that
if
should
you-
have been your crazy Jedi power. Is Anakin just goes berserk in moments, and you're like, dude, what is this?
What the
He's
hell?
flying through the air. He's just cutting. And the other thing though, that makes it not even dark side is they're droids, so you don't feel anything when they're down.
Yeah, they're just killing.
Not even.
It's a video game.
Yeah, like even stormtroopers, you kind of get that sense, which I get is the point. You don't
That's
want-
why it could have
you
been
don't
sweet
want
for the Clone Wars. You had the clones, and then you could have had like maybe some like systems like get armies of like people to like to fight against the clones.
Yeah.
But I'm piggybacking off what you were just saying. Like I just had this. You could have had him been like this big war hero and like killing people and doing all this stuff, and then the Clone Wars are over, and just like today when like veterans come back home from overseas, they miss that action. They miss that the thrill of the battle, and they miss that high. And you could have had that with Anakin, which is why he would have turned, because he got a taste for that during the Clone Wars. And now that you're back to sitting at a Jedi Council twiddling your thumbs,
Yeah.
then you start
Looking for some trouble.
looking for some
The
action,
most
some trouble.
supportive person towards Anakin would have been Palpatine in the movies.
Yeah.
Every time they interact, Palpatine is giving him praise. He's saying a compliment.
He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
He's grooming him. He's a groomer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Groomer.
He's grooming him.
But they don't. I don't think they play that up. I don't know. It just.
Yeah,
Although
you should
an
have
episode-
force
the pieces
choke
are
somebody.
there.
Okay, so since we are getting to Episode 3 then, let's not forget that Padme is sick.
We mean she's sick.
All right?
Sick with child.
sick with child. Well, Palpatine keeps referencing to Anakin.
What's that guy's name?
The dark side teaches you how to potentially
Plagueis.
keep somebody alive.
Darth Plagueis.
Plagueis.
That whole theater scene, it was sweet.
That
I
was
think,
cool.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
That was another
When
high
he was
point.
explaining all that stuff to him, and
That was
See,
the only
that's the way kind to of save stuff her.
that to me in Episode 3 got my juices going. The same way in Episode 4 when Ben's talking to Luke, it's like, oh, during the Clone Wars,
Oh, yeah.
When Sidious or when Palpatine.
When you're
sent us
just
to Anakin,
saying it
you're
like
like, oh
people
man,
know what
now
you're
I
talking
want to
about.
see like Plague. I want to see that
Yeah.
stuff. They tried to do it with the Acolyte show. That was stupid. They had that.
Yeah, because
They
you just
had
got to
him
leave
fall
it
the
go.
cave at the end of the-
Yes.
You just got to leave it go.
Yeah, but it got me excited
Yes, it's
in a
cool.
way that like 1 and 2 didn't.
I'll go. Your favorite movie, Jaws. When Quint gives his monologue, it's that Plagueis thing is. It's not that, but it's in that
Sweet.
realm.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, that's
It's cool, and that obviously when he delivers that, when Quint delivers that speech about the Indianapolis, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see a movie about it. it's, you know what I mean? I don't want to go back and see the movie.
I think I read they're making one.
I did see it. I did see it. I don't want to see it though. I don't want to see it. You're gonna ruin it. You can't possibly live up to that story. And that's
Plagueis' speech is the same way.
Yeah, you go back. Oh, let's make that as yeah. It
And he
is
does,
sweet.
like,
It's sweet because it's right there.
Ian McDiarmid, the actor, but Ian
Yeah,
McDiarmid,
yeah.
he does it so well. Like he's just
Yeah.
like so like the way he's oh yeah, it's like the way he's telling.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
You can see he's like Anakin's like hanging
he's
on
reeling
every
him in.
word. Yeah, that part is good.
And I'll go to where, you know, when Obi-Wan is talking to Luke in the hut, the Clone Wars, and your dad betrayed the Jedi. Awesome. And we did want to see that story, but
we didn't get that story.
we did not get that story. And in retrospect, it's best just left to our imaginations.
What'd you think of episode
Whole
3?
point of going way back to the beginning of the podcast. Sometimes you just don't need an ending. You just leave it open to the imagination.
Yeah. And the Kessel Run. Cool.
You didn't need to see it in Solo.
Yeah, I don't need to see
didn't
it.
need to see it.
We can just talk about it all the time. The Kessel Run, oh, that was sweet. Yeah.
Made
But
it
even
well
the spies, although Rogue One pulled it off, you know, oh, these spies died to bring us this information. That's cool. You don't need to see, you know, where do you start?
Kessel Run.
Yeah.
We heard about it. Cool to imagine it. We don't need to see it.
So for episode 3, it's probably the most action-packed. I mean, it starts off with the space battle, which I thought was sweet.
Yeah.
And then you have the rescue of Palpatine, and then you have Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku, the lightsaber battle right off the get-go. Anakin, that was pretty, I mean, right away he like beheads him. And I think that's pretty sweet how Palpatine is like, do it. And then he like slices off his head. I think that's, you know, I thought it started out like really well. You didn't like any of that, or you just...
You know what? I don't even remember it. That's what I mean. By this time...
You ought to go back and give Revenge of the Sith a watch.
You should. That one you should.
Is that the one where R2-D2's going through the factory? And it's just...
No,
it's
that's
just
2.
That's
See,
two.
to me, that again, that was
episode
another
2.
problem with it. That's where he was flying around.
Yep.
It's just a video game. They're
R2 didn't
just
really-
making a video game.
But you didn't really have that in episode... I thought episode 3 was...
You know what I
best of them.
mean? That
You
when he
didn't
was
really
going
have
through
that.
the factory, it was like I'm watching Super Mario.
Yeah, it was
Still
stupid. With the thing with the droid like doing, and like, you know,
Yeah.
Anakin was having to like hop over and like roll under stuff. And
Where's the first time you see R2-D2 in the original trilogies?
on the
Episode
Tandem
Yeah.
War.
He's wait, where?
Oh, in the original trilogy.
And in episode 4,
You're right. I'm wrong.
he gets the plans.
How did he get?
First time you see him was Leia's
I'm having a
plans.
memory. How did he get with the Jawas for Luke to buy?
They got on the
They
escape
crashed
pod.
the pod
That's
shut
right,
up.
pod
And then
shut. They were going
C-3PO and
through the
R2
desert.
went their separate
Because
ways.
I was going to say in the prequels, you didn't need to have R2-D2 at all. He
Yeah.
didn't have to
No.
exist.
No.
I can kind of stomach C-3PO if the kid, Anakin is a kid,
I could
works
see
in a
it.
scrapyard.
I could see
He's
maybe
the chosen one. He's really smart for his age. I'm tinkering.
I would rather
found
see
this
him
old droid that I'm going to fix
fix
up.
up.
That's a protocol droid.
I would rather see him working for Natalie Portman and those people.
Yeah.
Like a protocol droid.
Yeah, you could have been
That
able
would
to
have made
move
more sense,
easily.
truthfully.
So
Yeah,
part
sure.
3. Part 3.
So I think it starts out strong. I like that there's a scene I think after they crash land back on Coruscant, Luke is talking to Yoda and he's like, look, I'm having these dreams, like, you know, he's basically going to Yoda asking for help. He's like, I'm having these dreams.
Not Luke, Anakin.
I'm sorry, Anakin.
Yeah.
And like, remember he and Yoda are kind of like talking in that room and Yoda's trying to say, you know, he's talking about like attachment and these like feelings he's having and Yoda tries to help him a little bit. I like that whole thing. I mean, when I left Revenge of the Sith, if I left episode 1 thinking it was like what did I say, a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, and I left Attack of the Clones thinking it was like a 5 or 6 out of 10.
See,
I left Revenge of the Sith thinking 8 or 9 out of 10.
I was given like 7, maybe 7.
I
And going back, and my ranking for it now would still be like probably like a
Okay,
7.
but
the final scene of that movie is Darth Vader. Total letdown. Oh, come on, man.
when he finds out that she's dead,
No, I think he finds out that he's Darth Vader.
No,
he finds out that Padme's
Padme's dead.
Well, that's even dumber then.
Because he choked her out. I mean,
See, to me, that's probably the dumbest part of the movie is that when Padme died, she should have been like maybe had her windpipe crushed by Anakin or something, but she can still give birth. Maybe it didn't kill her immediately. She dies. She dies of a broken heart. She just lost the will to live. You just had 2 babies.
She dies of a
and you
broken
die of a broken.
heart.
That was the dumbest. That brings it down 3 points for me. Like right there, it's so stupid. Anakin should have mortally wounded her.
You're Padme. You're a queen. You're a leader.
And your mother.
You have a whole life, and you just had babies.
Twin babies.
Come on. I lost the will to live for this guy that I haven't had a convincing relationship with for the last
that's
2
where this
films,
whole
and
movie
everybody
falls flat.
Yeah, the major
it's all
hinges
built on Anakin's relationship with people, but the first movie doesn't have a relationship with either of these characters really. He has one conversation with Padme
because Qui-Gon is the person.
And again, he might have one conversation with Obi-Wan where Obi-Wan's ignoring him. And then the second one is just unconvincing all around. So by the time you're the third one, I'm sitting there going, I don't believe any of this.
I
don't believe in any of the emotion backing this. Now we have General Grievous in here. I thought Count Dooku was the bad guy. After Maul. That's the other thing I don't like with this trilogy. It's, we have a rule of 2. Okay, but it seems like you just find people at your will.
Yeah, really. How many of these guys are out there?
We need somebody. They killed him.
Story with, like, did he recruit Dooku somehow after Maul died? I still don't know.
So, Clone Wars cartoon. That takes place between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
And I'll say that does a good job of how we talked about showing Anakin as a superior fighter and a war hero, and also moments of the dark side coming through. Because again, you're not dealing with droids, you're dealing with other people, there could be aliens or whatever, and multiple times he starts force choking people because they're not giving him the answer. He deals with like pirates a lot in it, and so he starts force choking these people to get the answer out of them.
See, and they do it in the movie.
They do it pretty cool because it's...
I've never seen that.
The Darth Vader music starts to play under it while he's force choking these people, and as well, there's more to his turn than, you didn't get permitted the rank of master. Ahsoka Tano, his apprentice, obviously, they have a convincing relationship in this.
How does he have an apprentice?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. But they have a very convincing relationship in a bond. And so Ahsoka gets framed and the Jedi immediately disown her. And
so
Anakin
it seems like they rewrote.
Anakin stands up for her and goes, guys, no, I know her. And they kind of throw him off the side.
Where's Ahsoka left off at the end of the clone cartoon?
So originally there was season 1 through 6, and it ends with Ahsoka getting disowned by the Jedi Council. Yeah, they say, you're no longer a Jedi, whatever, and you do have this moment where you get the sense, Anakin's angry about that because
that's more of a reason.
My point is you don't see Ahsoka in episode 3.
Well, you don't, but this is what season 7 came out recently. It's like a fairly newer thing within the last 5 years.
Did you watch the Ahsoka live action?
No, I couldn't get behind that. But in this season 7, the last 4 episodes I mentioned, they intercut it with Revenge of the Sith. So there's moments in there where there's Revenge of the Sith moments happening in the background. She talks with Anakin, or it's a scene, and then in Revenge of the Sith, you enter the scene right as this scene in episode, and whatever this Clone Wars ends. And somebody took it and did Revenge of the Sith and the last 4 episodes of this and intercut them, so they fit so they meshed well together. So it was very interesting. And again, that's part of the reason that I believe Anakin's turn more in this show is because they completely don't believe Ahsoka, and they kind of disrespect her and him in the process. And so he's angry with them. He's like, guys, no, you have to believe me. And it's the same. It's kind of he wants to go help Ahsoka because Ahsoka goes to Mandalore, and the Jedi go, no, you can't go help her. She's not an actual Jedi. You can't go and help her. You have to do what we're saying. So
see that to me, that's So this almost sounds like a Star Wars fan didn't like the prequels, we're saying, and said, you know what? Yeah, they bring Darth Maul back. They give him robotic spider legs, and he becomes the main player in it and stuff like that as well.
You should try if she's your favorite character, you should try.
I think I watched the first few episodes and I was just kind of no.
There's a pretty sweet scene kind of in the middle where they do like a flashback and it's a live action.
I saw that. Yeah,
like they had bring Hayden Christensen back, and he's like in his Anakin like war outfit and stuff. It's pretty.
Yeah,
sweet.
that's the other cool thing about the Clone Wars. Like I said, they really do hit home again, along with the relationship of Obi-Wan and him as well. It's like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. Those are like the three main characters. And they're together so much.
Kind of like your Han, Luke, and Leia.
Yeah, they're together so much, and you really feel that they have a relationship.
And so you didn't get that in the movies.
No,
I have to watch.
and you have those minute moments with Anakin where he is like the dark side. There's a point where Ahsoka gets trapped by bounty hunters and stuff, so he tries to go find her, and he's just doing it by any means necessary. He's like interacting with this is something they did. You know, in Empire when Anakin stops. Darth Vader stops Boba Fett from shooting Chewbacca.
Shooting Chewie.
There's an arc in one of the Clone Wars episodes where Chewie saves Ahsoka. And so people are like, because Anakin finds her with Chewie. So they're like, Anakin, like, stopped that from happening. As Darth Vader is like...
Kind of like a cool little wink.
Yeah. So, it's a good show. The first few seasons are a little, but then they start to get into these arcs and they're kind of mature in reality. They're very mature. They're very tight stories that are kept together and they're well written.
I think I never got into it because I think the very first episode was like a movie.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
It was like with Baby
She kept calling him
Jawa.
like Fly Guy and stuff. I was like, this is stupid.
But that's the beauty of that character is they start her off kind of smuggish.
Yeah.
And over time with Anakin, she learns, and you kind of get the growth from Anakin as well becoming a teacher.
Okay.
Which was I think that's kind of the excuse they gave was Anakin's not really mature under Obi-Wan, so let's try giving him a student to see if he can mature with her.
Makes
So
0 sense, but whatever.
But I mean, still, it sounds like there's more there that could have been.
at the very least, I would highly
That could have been
recommend
a good episode,
watching.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend watching the last 4 because they do heavily tie in with Revenge of the Sith. It's really capped off well.
Season 7, the last
Yeah.
one was season 7.
Yeah. And Anakin also gives her a lot of his clones. He has the 501st Division to go and help her take Mandalore, which is how she gets stuck with Order 66. She's like on this ship and it's crashing and she's got to survive Order 66 the whole time. She has Maul captured, but she frees him to help her get out of the ship because all the clones are coming after them. It's very, very good.
Check it out.
Yeah.
My holiday viewing.
There you go.
Last 4 episodes, like I said, at the very least, watch that.
What's your Revenge of the Sith ranking? I don't think
I think like 7.5. I felt like I said, for whatever reason, I felt each movie got better. Phantom Menace, I was let down. Attack of the Clones. I thought, okay, better. I could stomach that one more. And then Revenge of the Sith, I thought, okay, of the 3, I dig it. But you're right. There are certain in any of the movies. There's certain elements that I'm like, that's stupid. Like you said, Darth Vader. No, it's like, come on.
That's what I'm like. See, that detracts from Darth Vader.
it would have been sweeter if they would have just. All they had to do was take out the no. Like what happened to Padme? She's dead. You killed her. And if he would have just shaken and everything exploded around him, he didn't have to go no.
Yeah, that would have been better.
He could have just been like, "Arr!" Not even made a noise, just like shaking. You know.
But
There's ways.
He should have
This
said,
isn't. This is for the
she
entire
is part of the
prequels.
Rebel Alliance.
There's better ways. It was a good idea, but
Good.
there's better ways to handle it.
yeah,
I mean, that's the theme for the entire prequels. It was the ideas were good, but the execution was poor.
yes, for some unknown reason.
Well, I will tell you this. We are dealing with the man that felt it necessary to make Greedo shoot first.
Yeah, come on.
Do you see that in 2027 for the 50th anniversary, they're bringing back the original in theaters?
I'll go see it.
Oh, who won?
Right?
Who won?
Nobody.
Nobody. I don't hear anybody.
Nobody
say
would
it.
not see
I don't
it.
hear nobody
Yeah, I'll see it.
raising their
I'd see
hand.
it. I'd see it.
What's your rating? What was your rating for the Revenge of the Sith?
3. I think it's better than 2, but I mean none of these to me are.
You gave 2
really,
or 3.
I gave 2 a 2.
Oh, did you?
1 was a 3 because of that Darth Maul. I love Darth
So you
Maul.
go 3, 2, 3.
Yeah, none of them really are
They just
resonating with me at all. I don't know, especially like I said, the tyrannical household I lived on.
I wonder if you would have had a dad that
Growing
took
up.
you to see him in the theater when you were like 7 years old. If you're,
I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
For episode 3 came out in
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah, but you can't go to that.
I had
It's
no
first
interest.
one.
3.
I believe so. Yeah.
I had no interest to go to that again.
Dude, you literally couldn't have taken.
Did we
me.
see
I'm telling you
episode
guys, I
3?
wasn't.
And
I'm
born.
sure we did. That's when we were going to movies.
And we must have seen it. Were we all together for 3?
I can't help but think, I do think we were.
I think so.
But once again,
I'm pretty sure. I remember talking to you guys.
I think, yeah, because we used to go stand outside that theater and talk for a while.
Yeah, you
after
guys should
watching
have
a
recorded
movie.
that.
Should have recorded
But
that
I-
right on the spot.
But even vague memories, I don't think we came out of anything that we saw going, oh my God, that was sweet.
Yeah.
It's just, Maul, yeah, it was cool. But once again, when you think of Phantom Menace, what's everybody say? Darth Maul was so badass. He was. For 6.5
For 6.5 minutes.
minutes.
2.5
It's
hour
6.5 minutes of
movie.
glory.
Okay, that's my point.
Did we see 7 together? We must have.
Yeah, we had to have seen.
I think we all went to 7. I think we all went to 7.
You probably
didn't
took
we?
Luke to see that. Was he
Jim
not
saw
born?
it.
I don't think Luke would have been born.
Jesus, Pete.
You know, I don't
What's
know
going
that we
on in
did
the
I
world?
know I did.
Against together.
I think 7 we did, but I know 8 we didn't. I did see 8 with you, but you had already seen it. I saw 8 the first time, and you went with me, and you were like, the only reason I'm going with you is because I want to see what you think.
Okay, yeah.
If what I thought is
Exactly.
what you thought, and then when I got over, I was like, that was like the worst movie I've ever seen. You're like, okay, that's what I thought. You're like, I needed you to confirm that I wasn't crazy the first time I saw it.
Yeah, that's where I got. That's where I officially got off board. I don't know. He has a concussion or something.
And let's be fair. When you're talking about the sequels, 7, 8, and 9, you know, you now have a different owner.
To me, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9 are just expensively produced fan fiction.
Correct.
I don't even think so. I think there's fans out there that could do a heck of a lot better than that. Because I think, like you say, it's such a I don't want to get into the whole thing, but it's such a disservice to the lore. Luke Skywalker throws his lightsaber over his shoulder. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Without even like a hesitation.
Yeah.
Mind you, that lightsaber.
We need to save
It's
that
like
for
it's
another.
like she just handed you a big giant steaming turd, and you didn't even have to think about it. Throw it over his shoulder.
To me, even
not even a pause.
a more egregious sin than that in the sequels is you had
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hamill. I said this the last time I was on.
And you don't
Harrison
have
Ford
the three
character.
characters together.
And Billy D. Williams. You didn't have a scene in episode 7 that at least got the major 3 together one last time. Look at all the look at Top Gun Maverick, how awesome they handled that.
Yeah.
You could have had Rey and Finn, and you could have found a way to do it. You know, had Luke and Han and Leia supporting characters, but get them back together one more time. The fact that you never got those 3 together,
And yeah,
I wonder if they
and
even
see-
got them together behind the
Film,
scenes.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey guys, can you guys all get together in the Millennium Falcon
Well,
one
Luke
last
wasn't
time?
even in the dang thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had Mark Hamill, and you wasted an entire episode 7, and you show him for less than Maul was in
even
episode 1.
Qui-Gon had to fall down on that.
How does it not occur to you? Here we got Harrison, we got Mark, we got Carrie.
And we're
let's have some
killing
scenes.
Harrison Ford at the end of this episode. So he's not going to be in episode
So
2.
you could have had some sweet. You could have had like Luke been there and not been able to stop Kylo Ren from killing Han, feeling like it was his fault. Like there's
So many things you could have done.
So many things you could have done. Yeah. Don't even want to.
I always say
Oh man,
a sweet sequel series. Luke talked about it, and Lando talked about it in episode 9. He said
Him and
that
Luke
him
with
and
the
Luke and
holocron.
Kylo Ren went looking for those Sith holocrons together, and then stuff went down. That should have been your episode 7. Luke and Lando and Kylo Ren going to look for those holocrons. Well, Han and Leia are back dealing with trying to put the Republic together.
So overall, prequel trilogies, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down for me. I don't know.
Can I give a sideways thumb?
You can give a side.
give
Yeah,
it
it
a-
averages out
I'm
for
going
you.
to give it a.
All 3 of my
I give 'em-
rankings.
I-
All 3 of my rankings are above a 5, so I would have to go.
I just feel like there's nothing believable in there for me.
Yeah, there is nothing believable.
There's no reason for me to watch them either. You know what I'm saying? It's like this might be controversial, but I still want to see a prime Darth Vader be a prime Darth Vader because we never got that. You know, there
Without
had to
the
be-
armor?
No.
Anything.
Because I think a prime
Anything.
Darth Vader is Anakin without the armor.
Yeah.
Which you could have had in Episode 3 before he got the fight with.
I think it would have been cool to see him
Hunting
slowly
down
get
Jedi.
cut down. That's what I want to see. Again, I'm sure there's comic books and books about it.
Yeah,
but I mean, for you to have wasted 3 movies and never get to there, it's like it's not even like, it doesn't even feel like a story. It just feels like exposition to set up Episode 4. And we already knew who Darth Vader was. It doesn't feel like there's anything presented there worthwhile or new when you really think about it. It's just, look, here's Darth Vader.
Yeah, we got to see Darth Vader at his most wimpiest. We got to see him as a child. We got to see him as a whiny teenager, and we got to see him crying about being Darth Vader. How does that enhance Darth Vader?
We never got the Episode 4 that Obi-Wan talked. We never got that version of Vader that Obi-Wan tells Luke about.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like there's anything presented
or
here
that you
worthwhile.
see in those 3 movies. Darth Vader is taking no crap from anybody. He's choking people out. He defeats Obi-Wan. He defeats Luke.
I love
on
when
Empire.
I love an Empire when he first fights Luke and he's just using the one hand.
Yeah,
he's like
he's
just
messing
toying
around
him.
with him.
Just
Yeah,
messing
he's
around.
being lazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, guy. Like, dude,
But you know
it's
what I
like when you poke a dog, you want it to do something. That's what he's doing with Luke.
So you get the feeling that he can handle business and he was a badass. But you see the show and it's like
He gets
Where
weak.
is that guy?
you pull that, you lower his mystique, you lower his aura.
Yeah, absolutely. He does not. I mean, he gets beat every time he's in a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what were we just talking about?
I don't know.
Stranger Things, maybe. Something we were just talking about. We were like, this character like loses every time. I don't know. Maybe it was
It
him.
was Darth Vader probably. All right, so coming up on the holiday season, we don't want to start a new podcast or a Popcast here, a new episode. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Of all time.
All time.
I'm gonna
Not a list. Not a new episode.
I'll give mine. I'll give my son's. Luke has a hot take for his favorite.
yeah?
So his favorite Christmas.
Shout
movie
out
of
to
all
Luke
time,
then.
His favorite Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone 2.
You know, I've heard that a lot.
He loves New York City. My favorite Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone 1.
Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2.
You got the John Williams score. I mean,
I'm not familiar with that.
you've never seen Home Alone?
I think I've seen it. Mine's Christmas Vacation.
I was gonna say mine might be National
It's your
Lampoon's
favorite of all
Christmas
time?
I love that movie just in general.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
don't like it, but man,
Shitters full.
Sirius Clark. That's the best part. Sirius Clark.
Serious Clark. Luke and I just watched that the other day. It was on. Not like A Christmas Story or.
That would be my.
I like
that was-
Christmas Story.
that
Do you
was
remember
the other
Z-Lig?
one. Oh God, yeah, that was my fault.
That's Jerry. No, that's Jerry's
No,
fault.
that is
It was
my
your
fault. 100%.
Tell that story
Jerry
quick.
still talks. So when
Christmas Story was
the
out of
Christmas
theaters.
Story was coming out at theaters, do you know what year that was?
1983, I think.
83.
Sounds
I'm
about right.
12 years old. I want to just everybody. I'm 12 years old, and we all saw a trailer for it on TV or something,
For Christmas Story.
but we didn't know what the name of the movie was. Woody Allen had a movie called Zelig come
Black
out in
and
the theater,
white.
black and white, just about a dude that's like a chameleon, can just
Oh,
change
yeah,
his
yeah.
skin. It's a weird story, but for whatever reason, I had in my mind, that's the movie. We gotta go see it. Zelig. So we go see Zelig and sit through a Woody Allen movie.
We did
while
not sit
Chad,
through
my
it.
older brother, are looking at me like I'm about to
We
be
did not
left.
sit through that, did we?
I don't know if we did
I
or
don't
not.
know. I'm sure we probably went a half hour waiting to see, because I remember thinking,
And then we
is it
knew
going
it
to
was
turn to
off.
color? Is this like lead into what's going to happen here? And yeah, it never did. Z-League.
Zelig.
Do not go see it.
What was the greatest movie day ever for us?
Oh, I think, did I tell that story? I don't
Raiders.
know if I told
Superman 2
Superman
and
2 and
Raiders,
Raiders. That's a great story.
We go see Superman 2. My brother
Jerry,
goes to see Raiders of the Lost
I
Ark.
think I
We didn't
told that
want to see
story
it
on here.
because we thought it
Yeah,
had religious
when I was
overtones. And I'm like, no, that looks like this religious movie or something.
We thought it was a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, documentary. We come out
Because
of
there was
that.
no internet, there was no nothing.
All there was before Raiders was a picture of him looking at that like Egyptian thing. In the
Well,
desert.
they had him in the map room with this thing on, like, okay, he's gonna be what is he supposed to be in everything that you saw was stupid looking. The one part where he's in the Well of Souls and he's on top of this Amon-Ra statue, and he's like pushing it with his legs. I was like, that's horrible special effects. We didn't know if that was supposed to be a real monster. You know what I mean? And it's a statue. And I was like, this man, Jerry, you're stupid. And Superman 2 was a great movie.
It was great.
It was a good movie.
That's one of the
We wanted to go
Supermans.
see that again.
Still my favorite Superman movie.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, you said Christmas Story is your favorite.
I was gonna say, the two that jump out at me would be A Christmas Story or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You've seen Home Alone, right?
I love Home Alone. I mean, I hate to say it, I kind of think of Die Hard as a Christmas movie in a way because it came out at Christmas
were talking
time.
about that.
But I know it's not a Christmas movie. But you have just certain memories of time of the years. I will say this: if I have to give a little honorable mention, thanks to my kids growing up, at first I didn't like Jim Carrey's The Grinch, but now when I see it, I actually
It's not a
kind
bad
of
movie.
enjoy it.
Not bad.
Not bad.
You were talking before
The
about
Grinch is
Thing.
creepy in
Oh,
those.
yeah.
I'll tell you this. I think my favorite film version of Santa Claus is Kurt Russell. Have you ever seen the Christmas Chronicles?
Have not.
Oh, that's a good one.
Kurt Russell is so good as Santa Claus.
Really?
He's the best Santa Claus you'll see on film.
There's some more
He is
holiday
good.
viewing.
Check out the Christmas. There's two of them. There's actually
Okay.
two of them. And
Christmas
Chris Columbus, the guy who directed
Home
Gremlins
Alone.
and Home Alone and Harry Potter, he directed the Christmas
Oh, I'm
Chronicles.
gonna
It's
have
on
to check
Netflix.
it out then.
And
You know,
I
is
guess
Gremlins a Christmas movie then?
I was about to say, I think I don't want to say Christmas Vacation, so I'd say Gremlins.
Gremlins is your favorite Christmas
That's
movie?
all during Christmas time.
You see,
They got
they're
the
doing a
Gremlins
new
in-
Gremlins now.
Just leave it be, man. You know,
I
sometimes
guess when they were making Christmas Chronicles, Kurt Russell sat down and he wrote this whole. He says he's still got almost like a whole book on the history of Santa Claus and who Santa Claus was, and he is so good. You know, he sees this. Have you ever seen the Christmas Chronicles?
Yeah.
He sees that, the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. He just shakes his head. He gets like, because he's in shape, he's fit,
Right.
And he won't say ho ho ho. He's like, I don't do that. He's like, that's fake news. He's like, this stuff media made up. He's really good at Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's good.
And then at the end, I don't want to spoil it for you when you find out who Mrs. Claus is.
Goldie Hawn.
You got to watch the movie.
Yeah, I'll watch it. That would be my guess, though.
There's a funny scene tying it with Star Wars. There's a funny scene in Christmas Chronicles where Santa's driving this car through Chicago, and the kid that's with him, the cops are chasing him, and the kid's like, "Can't you just like wave your hand and like make him go away? You're Santa Claus." He's like, "Look, kid, I'm Santa Claus. I'm not Yoda." Luke always loves that line.
Favorite Star Wars toy that you got for Christmas?
Falcon.
You got the Falcon?
Oh yeah. Dude, I remember getting the Death
Mine would have
Star.
been the Death Star.
But remember the phone?
Okay, so
phone with the trash
I'm gonna be
compactor?
honest. I'm blessed. I was spoiled the first Christmas after Star Wars.
He speaks the truth.
Yeah.
Tom and Sandy.
Tom, my parents, bless their hearts,
I always
man.
wanted to go over to this guy's house because he had all the stuff, man.
I
You and Jerry
remember
had all the
opening
stuff.
up TIE Fighter, X-Wing, Death Star, all the figures that probably were out. Mind you, I still have a lot of all that stuff. Not in the shape it was when I opened them up new, obviously.
You still have the Dianago monster from the Death Star?
I do.
And you have the
I
foam
do too.
pieces for the trash compactor?
Some of them. The trash compactor, though, the little glass plates on the side, I'm missing those.
You
But I still got
you still got the grappling hook with the string?
Oh, I bet you that cost a fortune.
You know what else is hard to find is the
little
chessboard.
ball. The chessboard.
The ball,
the
the training ball,
yes,
and the
the training
chessboard
ball.
thing
I have the
inside the Falcon.
chessboard. I don't know if I have the training ball.
No way.
You have the cool little figures, but then you also have those cool
12
12-inch figures.
I got my original Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker up right over
I
there.
got a complete
original.
Boba Fett, but that's the only one I've got.
I've got a bunch of them. I've got a Stormtrooper. The thing that I told you that you always want to get from me is I got the R2, and I still got the little plans that come out of it that you can't find
nice.
anymore. So yeah,
That's what.
if you go on
Those were great
Facebook,
days.
you can go and find 80s Facebook pages, and I've been seeing them pop up recently. It's like the original Sears catalog with all the stuff in it. And I remember
Those
looking
things.
at those
Remember those
It's
things, man?
Oh, you couldn't wait.
Oh.
I would look at the Star Wars toys, and I'd look at the ladies' underwear ads.
Looking for Natalie
Just a
Portman?
joke, just
Looking for Natalie Portman?
just a little joke there, just a little humor at the end there.
That ain't no joke. He ain't joking.
Talking truth.
Kids today don't
I think
know
we
what it's
all
like.
know.
Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah,
that, man.
you got an unfettered
Christmas time, that
stream
Sears
right here.
catalog. Where's the toys? Oh, there's a.
Yeah, I get it. Nah, this
they're
is a-
ripping it out.
This is a
saving it
family
for later.
program here. You can't go into some of that. You either look for the Sears catalog underwear section, or you go to your neighbors and look at the trash cans and throwing away Playboy or something like that. Let's keep it.
All right, we got.
We're getting off
Hopefully your
track.
parents are not watching.
Happy holidays.
If you made it this far,
Yeah, you got to pay off if
Yeah.
you made it this far. So yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for
Enjoyed
having
it.
us.
We'd love to have you on again when we think of another
Absolutely.
great topic.
Are we going to do a trilogy of trilogies? We got.
Well,
We need to talk about the original trilogy or the sequels.
I mean, yeah, but
I think we'll have to
is it
talk about
annual?
the original
Is it
trilogy
annual, or
just
can
to
we
spread
do
some
it
love.
yeah, maybe that's the way to go because people probably just think we're haters.
Or like in May.
Absolutely. I think all we've done is unfortunately we've hit a rough string of stuff.
But we
We
made
could do a May
sure-
the 4th episode.
Okay. We could do a Valentine's Day episode where we
Right.
just spread love about the original trilogy, okay? And then a May the 4th episode where we dog on the sequel trilogy.
I mean, I don't have a single good thing to say about the sequel.
I do.
I do.
You know
You
what?
do?
I do.
I
some
still
positive-
will defend the first one on the grounds that it was visually cool. The guy having the people back was cool. I know this.
We got books, we got comics, we got Han's not dying.
You need to save it for another next episode.
So
We
yeah,
can go on and
thanks
on.
for being here, guys, and thank you for watching. Have a great holiday season and a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas. Happy holidays.